What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat.
Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I slumber, I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy middle of the week, everybody.
Yep.
Happy Wednesday.
Wednesday. Not Wednesday.
Yes, well, possibly.
Maybe. It felt a little bit moist-ish this morning.
We have a better chance of wetness night than wetness day.
Yeah.
Little or no wetness expected on Wednesday. We do wake up this morning. There is a road closure.
Yes.
US 285, northbound and southbound, between mile marker 82 and mile marker 88, which you're like, where that? That's basically in between Artesia and Midway on Highway 285. Motorists are advised that both north and southbound lanes, of course, it suspends right when I'm reading it.
Oh, crap.
I had to refresh. I'm reading it off NM roads.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, but closed in both directions from New Mexico 82, which is Pueblo Road, to New Mexico 88, Ottawa Road, due to a crash. Please seek alternate routes at this time, and please use caution in that area when you're driving through. Also, we got a note from the super over in Hagerman Schools. Because of that accident, they've closed some of the bus routes west of the accident.
Yeah.
So parents that in that area that are affected should contact their child's school for more information there on how to proceed. But they because of that accident, if you're west of where that accident is there, then the buses may not be coming to pick up your kids this morning because of that. So just make note, call your school, and find out what's next to do on the list there. So good morning. Other than that, and it's hot and
That's muggy. It wasn't really hot. It's just muggy.
Well, I noticed, this morning I was getting ready, and I was in the kitchen, and Kim had the news on in the background, and old Steve Stucker's talking.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, chilly in all parts of the state, except there in Roswell, 71. And I'm like, yeah.
Balmy. We call it balmy. I stepped down, and I was like, well, there's no Christmas in this air at all.
No.
It's thick.
It is. Tis warm, but here's today's weather forecast. If you want to,
Don't spoil it for Steve.
I know, I shouldn't. But now they say there's a chance of thunderstorms this afternoon.
Oh, I did hear, however, Jennifer Naramore delivered the weather on my way in this morning, and she used a phrase that I was rather fond of.
Oh, okay.
She said, potential heavy thunderstorms pulsating into severe. Pulsating into severe. She said pulsating. Yeah.
Like
I'm like, pulsating? That seems like some definite unique vocabulary you went with there, Jennifer.
That is definitely SAT.
It's dancing on the rim, if you will, of severe thunderstorms.
I would have preferred an undulating, but pulsating's pretty good.
lunging forward with upward thrust into severe.
Well, let's pulsate into the weekend. Maybe we should, we'll work that into more things. So, it is a unique turn of phrase. Let's see. But we got a chance of rain without rain today, or thunderstorms. Then tonight, some rain with rain, maybe. But we'll get you up to date on all that here in just a little bit. All I know is it's going to be windy. It's going to be warm. That's relative. It'll be warm. It's 98, but that's what it's been anyway. So, put in perspective.
Yeah, it's going to be warm. Although possibly also moist this today, which could add a little variable.
It's true.
So get ready for that. Hot, but also maybe humid. So enjoy.
Yeah, well, hopefully. Well, I'll take humid because at least that gets rid of the red flag warnings, which I guess because of that, the storms that kind of really went into Lee County, that kind of saved us from a red flag warning here. Because yesterday, pretty much the whole state except southeast New Mexico was under red flag warning, and it's because that bit of moisture from that front south of us moving into our region. So I think.
Yeah. We'll see.
Pulsating into the region.
Buckle up and you're ready for the pulsations. I just realized I have to drive 285 or I have to go to Artesia today.
Oh, that's right.
Son of
what time do you have to head towards that way?
Well, it's 11 to 1. By the way, folks, come on out to celebrate National Hospital Week with us at Artesia General Hospital if you happen to be in the area.
Okay.
We're going to be talking to some local physicians, nurses, practitioners, maybe the lunch lady.
Nice.
Folks that, made the unsung heroes of the pandemic.
When you hit all those people, maybe you could just ask them various medical issues you have. And
that's kind of my plan. Yeah. I'm sort of hoping to get like a general, just a head to toe while I'm there.
What do you do? You deal with urology? Okay, I got a couple questions for you.
Yeah. Let's come talk on air, and then we'll talk off air.
Cardiologist, I definitely need to talk to you.
Can I get the ear, nose, and throat guy? I brought charts.
Dietitian, please.
Yes.
Come on over.
Help. I mean, look, help. Okay. Big in all the wrong parts and small in all the. Wait, I don't even rephrase that. Like, choose my vocabulary before I finish that sentence. I'm disproportionate in certain upper body regions. There, fixed it.
There you go. Saying his head's too big.
Yeah. So
he's got such tiny shoulders and a big head.
Ladies, don't drink when you're pregnant.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Sage advice. Just in general.
Waterheads of the world unite. It's it won't end well.
Well, it'll be fun. You're going to hang out at the hospital there.
Yeah. Should be good.
Good deal. Let me give you the rundown of what we got going on today. We're going to start things off here this morning. Mark Green with Harvest Ministries and Amelia Benavides will be joining us with the United States Postal Service. It is that time of year again, folks. The strikeout hunger, the letter carriers collecting food to stamp out hunger. This Saturday is the big day. They're asking folks here in Roswell and I think to Travis County, but I know for Roswell for sure. We'll get that cleared up. And are asking to leave a bag of canned goods.
Or bags.
Or leave a bunch, as many as you can get there.
Non-perishable food items.
Out at your mailbox on Saturday. And your letter carrier will be picking that up. And all of the food going to Harvest Ministries, which they not only distribute food directly out of there, but then help other organizations in our community with food issues and things too. So other nonprofits that help folks that are in need also get food from Harvest Ministry, as well as people with need directly. So, but we'll talk with Mark and Amelia and get all the information about that here in just a bit.
It's the one event every year that keeps the comic family circus alive.
Yeah,
because
that's true because they
always use that one image of Jeffy and PJ and all of them.
Yeah, it's a bit of nostalgia. Are they still in the comic books?
They still show
the newspapers.
Every now and again, I haven't checked our local one, but you'll see it pop up.
I haven't looked
next to like a Marmaduke or something.
I haven't looked at funny papers in a long time.
It's been a minute.
Maybe I need to get back and look at some funny papers.
I feel like that's you gotta like unlock that portion of your life again.
In fact, I call it funny papers makes me happy.
The fact that you call it funny papers makes me a little uncomfortable. There's always the comic section.
We call it the funny papers.
The funny papers. That's so vague, though. That could be a Mad magazine.
Well, you know, I did have the Washington Post as the main paper for us when I grew up. So actually, it's not true. The Maryland Independent, but our big major newspaper near us was the Post.
You got to feel bad for that one section of the country that was like, that calls it like the laughs page or something, because that's what their paper called it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know, the laughs page. Nobody calls it that, Stan.
Well, anyway, I miss it in the funny papers.
In the funny papers.
In the funny papers. Yeah, I know, they could go a whole different place.
Yeah.
But in my head, it's your comic section.
Sure.
Funny papers. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, we're going to have Superintendent for the Roswell Independent School District join us, Brian Luck, give us the rundown of what happened at their last school board meeting yesterday. Give us all the info, details. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, we're going to replay an interview. Sarah East with Loveless. She's a general practitioner. She's a be-all catch-up. We had a great conversation with her yesterday talking about Botox and migraines, and even talking about nerve for folks with incontinence issues and things, or there's nerve procedures and things to help with that. And she can do it all at her office there. So we talk about that.
Neat.
Yeah. And then we also, of course, have all of your features that include the news of the local and national variety, along with, Town Hall, Wall Street business updates, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show.
Indeed.
All right. It is 7:16. Morning's just flying already.
Sure is. Ooh, and there's a hint of blue. Just a hint.
I see a smidge. A smidge of blue. Ooh, good band name.
Smidge of blue. I like it.
I picture it kind of an emo-y band, Smidge of Blue.
Although smidgen of turquoise feels more like.
They could open for Smidge of Blue.
Yeah, there you go. Smidgen of, they're a tribute band.
That's right.
Couldn't quite lean into Smidge of Blue.
See, we already got the tribute band and the main band picked up. We just need songs and
members.
Bands. Yeah, the whole
talent,
rest of it.
All of it. Yeah. Hey, we're just the idea guys. All right.
That's right. You all got to.
Y'all are the movers forwards.
Yeah. Y'all need to take Smidge of Blue and Smidgen of Turquoise and run with that.
That's right.
But give us a shout out when you make it big.
Their first song, Storm Clouds with No Rain.
We got your song written.
Boom.
Man, we're marketing geniuses.
Right.
We just have no talents or skills to actually sell a product. But anyway, it is 7:17. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have mostly sunny conditions in the forecast early today, but we do have a dry line over the area, and that could kick up some showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. A few of those storms could be severe. Large hail and damaging wind will be possible. This afternoon's high in the mid-90s. For tonight, partly cloudy and 60, and then plenty of sun coming up on Thursday and mid-90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Let me, sorry, my weather is fighting me right now. Let me try again here, see if it's going to give me fresh. No, it's not. I had my weather here just a second ago, and now the National Weather Service page is erroring on me. I was about to get it. Yeah, dang it. All right, let me go on my phone here. My apologies. Let's see. Where's my weather app? Sorry, I was refreshing my weather, and now the website's not coming up with the weather updates here. So, all right, let's do this. 7:19, we're going to take about a 2.5-minute commercial break, 3-minute commercial break, and then we're going to talk about the letter carriers Stamp Out Food and Hunger Drive this Saturday. That's up next. Don't go away.
All right, let's get out the old grocery list here. Let's see, eggs, milk, bread, insurance. I don't want to shop for insurance.
Fortunately, you don't have to. George Gandy Insurance is here for you, shopping and comparing rates from different insurance carriers to save you money, time, and hassle. Visit a George Gandy Insurance location near you today.
We keep you covered. George Gandy Insurance.
Have you been dealing with stress or anxiety lately? Don't let that stop you from getting the dental work done that you know needs to happen. Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental, and every day we help people just like you have a relaxing and pain-free experience with IV sedation. Just imagine a dental experience where you don't remember the needles or the drills. If that's what you're looking for, we can help. Let us ease your stress and create the best dental experience ever.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main or call 622-4455.
Are you tired of the endless spiral of medications that mostly are there to treat the side effects of other medications you take? Many medical providers are quick to prescribe medication without looking for healthier treatment options. At Roswell Medical Clinic, we practice functional medicine, which looks for ways to treat your illness with healthier lifestyle changes and fewer pills. At Roswell Medical Clinic, our providers will take the time to explore treatment options that include lifestyle changes and don't necessarily rely on more prescriptions. Call Roswell Medical Clinic today to schedule your appointment at 575-623-3311 or stop by our clinic at 111 West Hobbs in Roswell. Roswell Medical Clinic. Don't wait for an illness to start valuing your wellness.
Hi, this is Kevin Ray from my friends at Sun State Technology Group. There are no timeouts in business, and with the game getting more challenging than ever, it's time to make the play for better, more reliable technology. Sun State Tech is your local IT solutions company that provides protection and upgrades to keep your business at the top of its game. Managed IT services, cybersecurity, and more are delivered by the home team experts at Sun State Tech. Visit sunstatetech.com today for your free, no obligation technology checkup.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Goodyear Rubber Company researched and concluded that shoes wear out faster on the right foot than on the left. To fix this, just walk backwards for half the day. Here's Mike Winters.
It's science. It'll work. Try it. It is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, Mark Green from Harvest Ministries back with us. And then we haven't talked to Amelia in a while.
Yeah.
It's been Amelia Benavides with the United States. Matter of fact, you weren't even Benavides when we first started talking about this.
No, I wasn't. That's how long I've been coming here.
She's been married. Now I'm just kidding. I was going to make a joke, but, I don't want to do that. She's been married 50 years now.
Right. Sometimes it feels that way.
Of course, she's with the USPS, the Postal Service. Good morning, guys.
Yeah, good morning.
Well, it's that time of year. This is something that the United States Postal Service nationally does. Mm-hmm. This is something that it goes on across the country. And so I'm hoping a lot of other communities are taking part in doing the same thing that we're going to be doing here this Saturday. Yeah. But this Saturday is the Letter Carrier Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive, the annual event that, how many years now, Mia, has it really been going? I know we're joking, but...
Actually, I believe it's 29 years. The first actual food drive occurred in 1983.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's, but nationally, like everybody together, I think it's been 29 years.
Okay. So it took about 10 years for everybody to get on the same page.
Yes. But actually, in those 29 years, we've collected over 70 million pounds of food nationwide.
That's amazing.
70 million. That's crazy. Just think about that.
That is.
That's crazy.
It is. If we could do that more often, we could maybe actually stamp out hunger. If we could find a way to get people to contribute regularly to various organizations. And that, to me, that's what I love about this event as much as, we take a day to donate. Mm-hmm. But I also want to use it to remind folks that this is a need that's not just the second Saturday of May every year. You know what I mean? This is something that's going on constantly. And I know Mark and I have talked about this, the summer months for Harvest Ministries, and I think this is true across the board for organization, charity that helps like this. The summer months are generally the leaner months for donations and things. Believe it or not, schools are a huge resource for getting food items. Blood drives, weirdly enough, I know a lot of people don't make that association, but blood donations are the exact same way. They get a lot from high schools and things like that. So their summer months dwindle too. So for you guys, Mark, at Harvest Ministries, this food drive every year is kind of your main staple to basically make sure we have enough to give throughout the summer.
It is.
Well.
It's what carries us through the summer. Yeah. The schools, you're right. The schools are very, very good at having food drives for us.
Mm-hmm.
And but this is the largest food drive of the year for us. Nationally, I think it is. And so, yeah, this is really what carries us all the way through until September, and some of the schools start having food drives again. And, of course, we rescue food from the local stores and
you
things
guys are
like
always
that.
on the search for food.
Yeah. We do pickups every single day,
but as far
we
as
receive donations. But as far as a large donation at one time, this is the biggest of the year.
This is the year that really it's kind of like the Black Friday for Harvest Ministries.
That's exactly what it is. Yes.
It's a good way of seeing it.
There you go. Now, of course, for folks that don't know, Harvest Ministries, they're the be-all, catch-all, really, for a lot here in Roswell, because, they help folks directly right out of Harvest Ministries, but Harvest Ministries also serves other charitable organizations, supplying them with food needs like that, where helping where they have needs at too. So the food you're donating on Saturday is going to help people right here in Roswell locally, if not directly through Harvest Ministries, one of the organizations that it supports, helping that again do the same mission as Harvest Ministries does here in our community.
And this year, for the first time, we'll also be giving to Roswell Disaster Relief. So,
perfect.
We have 14 other agencies that we serve annually, and sometimes that changes 1 or 2 a year.
Okay.
But this year, Roswell Disaster Relief will be joining our crew. So, yeah.
And I imagine their need is probably just because the fires. We've had a lot of disaster issues happen locally here, and so I imagine their resources are probably a little depleted right now too. So
well, and they go out when like most of our agencies we serve during the day, and Roswell Disaster Relief will go out anytime it's needed.
Yeah, if there's a storm, something, whatever's in need, if it's 2 in the afternoon or 2 in the morning, they're out and about. Like I know when all the fires, all this, they were on alert. They were at the ready, getting helping wherever they needed to with getting resources to fire victims, things like that. So this is where your cans of food are going to help all these great people here.
And then more than any other year, we really need help this year. The high price of food.
Sure.
The
COVID.
It's been rough. It's been rough for a lot of people. A lot of people you don't think that need help are needing help this year.
Yeah, COVID's probably. Like you really haven't been able to do the full drives and things like you wanted to. So that's hurt you. Like you said, supply and demand, the fact that people are struggling themselves means there's less contributions coming in overall. So you're right. This Saturday, if you know it's just a can or two.
Yes, anything to help.
Whatever you can help with, leave it out in front of your mailbox, or if you got one of those what's the official term?
It's a neighborhood box unit.
Neighborhood box unit.
Yeah, NBU.
NBU. If you want to use the lingo.
We're going to get fancy with
those words. I like the lingo. I'm an acronym guy, so leave out by your NBUs.
Yes. And we want to make sure those are non-perishable perishable goods.
Don't
also.
leave hams or anything
let's not leave no hams or frozen food items. We will take, box items too, like macaroni.
Yeah, or your hamburger helpers.
Any of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also not bread items. We don't need bread items. Loaves of bread, things like that.
Anything that's not perishable. I mean, canned goods and things, they have shelf lives for years plus. Same with your boxed stovetop stuffings and your things like that. Those have a couple years shelf life. But bread, milk, eggs. Meats,
let's not do that.
Dairy, that stuff. No,
it is 100 degrees out here in Roswell, and by the time the carrier gets there, probably we have some scrambled eggs out there.
we don't want to. We don't want to actually have green eggs and ham for everybody. But if you have some of those resources that are available, reach out to Mark at Harvest Ministries. There might be some other ways that we can talk
they can
about.
Always bring them by the ministry center, sure.
Yeah, if it's, we talking like commercial grade beefs and things like that.
Well, especially
we can talk about that.
A lot of our people who have chickens who lay eggs. They bring farm fresh eggs.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we can work some of that directly through Harvest. But for our letter carriers event on Saturday, just leave those canned goods. I know a lot of folks request a lot of the microwavable type, like the Campbell soups in the microwave or the mac and cheese in those little microwave.
And that's great for the kids, you know, that are there's a lot of kids that actually have to stay home during the summer, and that's great. Easy, cooking items.
Yeah, and so even maybe some of those like granola bars, things like that. A mix of stuff because, and I think Mark and I have talked about this. Where sometimes the issue is, like you said, kids get home from school or parents are at work. Kids are on their own to feed themselves, and so they can handle pouring a cup of water in a cup and throwing it in the microwave for a minute. And so sometimes those kind of things are better. So the kids will have, whether it's granola bars or some mac and cheese or a canned soup or whatever.
Also with the elderly too, it's like easy open items, top items that actually helps them, And also, forgot to mention this, the P.O. Box. If you have a P.O. Box and you want to participate in the food drive, we actually have a drop-off location at our main post office at 415 North Penn, where the P.O. Box section's at.
Gotcha.
We have
the downtown post office.
Yeah, we have a tub out there where you could donate the goods from now until Saturday.
Okay.
So anytime, just go in there and drop off some goods. Or if you're going to be away on the weekend and you want to drop off some goods, you don't want to leave it out by the curb all weekend or all week.
Exactly,
Go by the main post office, drop it off there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Absolutely. And like I said, you can do that. Like if you're here now and busy and you're kind of thinking, I wanted to go ahead and, take care of it that way. Or maybe, do both if you can during the week, drop off some. And then if you happen to remember Saturday morning before your letter carrier shows up with the mail, go ahead and leave a bag out there of canned goods or whatever it is that you'd like to donate there too.
Yes.
It's strictly canned goods. I mean, has there been any request to donate money or any of that kind of stuff?
Hey, we do take.
And that's probably through the post office direct.
We prefer not to.
Yeah, I get you.
But if you do want to donate money, we could donate directly to Harvest Ministries, tax deductible.
Perfect.
That's right.
So probably maybe call Mark direct here at Harvest and make arrangements there. And trust me, if you'd like to come and bring a thing of cash, I'm sure we can make arrangements.
We can make arrangements for.
But
we can always make that happen.
But canned goods is what we're looking for.
Yes.
Non-perishable food items for this Saturday.
Yes.
Again, it's this Saturday. It's the second Saturday in May. So.
And actually, we have 10,000 cities across America participating in this. It's the largest food drive in one day.
Wow.
That we have in the nation. So it's amazing how all the letter carriers, and we don't get paid any extra to do this.
This is
all kindness of our hearts.
The Saturday letter
and it's going to be
carriers
100 degrees out there. So you might want to leave a water out there for your mailman.
There you go. Maybe a little
Gatorade.
Bluebell, something that they can do real quick. And
I was like, it gets hot, but yeah, we love.
It's a lot of work. When we go out there and help them unload those trucks, I think, oh my goodness, these poor people have picked up all this stuff all day long. It's a lot.
They
of work.
do amazing work, but the community, I challenge you, make them work hard on Saturday.
Yes, make us work hard.
I want. They were talking about so the past. There's been some years where they've had trouble. One year where you're like, where can we put all this stuff? It's so much. I want that problem again this year.
Yeah, we want that problem.
I want it to where Mark's like, I'm running out of space for all this food.
And,
we need to call up some of our partners here and see if they've got space.
Yes, and Roswell, we need it more this year than we have in a lot of years.
Yeah.
We really need the help. So anything, even just a couple of cans. It's like I don't have that much. A couple cans will help out. That adds up.
Absolutely. It's all appreciated. It all will be going to help folks out here. So, and of course, if you want to get more involved, Harvest Ministries, and really that could be the gateway if you're looking, like, for instance, if you want to work more with the homeless, those kind of things, do more. Maybe you're catching here and saving some cans, but inspires you to be able to maybe get more involved in some of our organizations. Reach out to Mark and the folks at Harvest Ministries. They can help you either directly there through Harvest or point you in the right direction for Homeless Coalition or any of the other.
We have lots of connections.
Yeah. Absolutely. Because that's another thing. We can always use more people. I know you got great staff and a great group of people that work at Harvest Ministries, but they're volunteers. They're, let's face it, a lot of them are retirees because they're the ones that generally have more time to do this, and they're retirees. They at some point, they can, they want a break. You know what I mean? So the more people that are able to pitch in and stuff, the less work, easier hands here. So use this as an opportunity to maybe get involved
and
more
those
than
are,
just doing this.
those are great organizations. I actually deliver mail to the Homeless Coalition and to the Homeless Coalition thrift store.
Okay.
So it's a great place to shop if you're out and about.
Very good.
Go help them out. That's
Absolutely.
all the proceeds help the homeless community here in Roswell, which is a great need here too.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is how we try to tackle these kind of things and doing it one bite at a time here. And I'm telling you, your donations this Saturday are greatly appreciated and desperately needed. Now so more than ever, because of the COVID and coming out of that and the lack of resources and things, that's made need larger and supply smaller. And so we need to kind of tilt that balance back to where we've got more supply than need. And that's what we want to get to. So.
And I want to personally thank Pastor Green and Enrique Moreno and all the other communities here in Roswell that are helping individuals in need. That's a great thing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Mark, if anybody has any questions about Harvest Ministries or anything we're talking about here, what's the best way to get a hold of you guys or somebody that give them the right answers?
They can message us on Facebook. A lot of people do that. So Harvest Ministries of Roswell. They can call us, come by the Ministry Center, 575-624-2415.
Okay.
Give us a call.
Very good.
Or they can email us. I'm mark@harvestmin.org.
Very good.
Harvestmin.org.
Yep. And then, of course, come by and visit the facility there on
Absolutely.
Main Street, right downtown here in the Main Street corridor. Can't miss it.
So I have another question. What's the weather going to be this Saturday? Do you know?
I can tell you. I don't know if you're going to like it.
And I don't
like it. I already looked. I do not like it.
What is the saying? Neither rain nor sleet nor hail. Nor...
They might be putting you
100
to that
degrees.
Test. Well, let me see if my weather's working. I forgot. I was trying to get it earlier, and the website was being ornery. There it goes. Let's see. Yeah, sunny and 97 on Saturday.
No, not terrible.
The good news is they don't mention windy or breezy yet.
That's very
great.
good news.
So maybe.
Yeah, let's knock on wood.
It won't
we
be
don't
so
want
windy.
that wind.
Yeah. At least that'll keep the bags from blowing down the street and everything else.
Well, if you put a lot of food in them.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's the only way to solve that is
let's solve
canned
that
goods.
problem.
If anybody has any questions about the Stamp Out Hunger, would it be best called?
You could actually contact me at 575-914-4800.
Okay.
Or if you have a special request, if you're elderly, can't get to the mailbox, can't get to the post office, drop it off, give me a call. We'll find somebody to go pick that up. Yeah, we could do that.
You might see people walk around the neighborhood collecting and leave it at your doorstep if you have to walk a bit to get to your mailbox and say, hey, I got one here.
Yeah, or you could leave a little note in there, say, hey, or on the flag, hey, I have some canned goods, I can't put them out. We'll figure out a way to get them.
Absolutely. So please, if you can, support, come out, bring canned goods. And also, by the way, if you don't feel comfortable leaving them out there, or you're not going to be in town or anything, you can drop your stuff off right now at the downtown post office there on Pennsylvania.
Yes.
And they've got a big box there that you can drop them off. So if you're not going to be there when they come to you to pick up the food, you can bring it right there, and you can do that all week. So maybe
all
pick
week
up,
long. And no matter, they're open 24/7. So
exactly.
Go drop it off after work, evening when you go pick up your P.O. box mail.
Absolutely, and give. Let's keep making them have to empty that box because it keeps filling up over there, and they have to. That'd be the good thing to have. So, did we get everything? Is anything we missed?
So.
I think
awesome.
so too.
Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Anytime, and we'll start collecting our. You can't have my New England clam chowders. I'm going to keep those in the fridge or in the pantry for me.
You're going to give us the hominy, right?
I love hominy. I don't know.
I do too.
Although I have some. I have some other soups that maybe. I've got like some Caribbean jerk chicken chunky soup. That might be a good one.
Yeah.
But no, my clam chowders, I hold on to those. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. I appreciate you too.
All right, it is 7:39. We're going to take a quick break and then Big Me double book. So we're going to have the folks, the Chaves County Federated Republican Women join us here for a few on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update. Eddy County Commissioners have approved a $728,000 expenditure for a new trash compactor at Sandpoint Landfill. Public Works Director Jason Burns said the new machine would replace the 6-year-old one that had more than 10,000 hours of use on it. Records show trash collection was higher in the first quarter of this year than it was during the same time period last year around both Carlsbad and Artesia. Some refreshing water recreation opportunities are opening for the summer season this month in Roswell. The outdoor pool at the Roswell Rec and Aquatic Center will offer a preview weekend. That will be May 21st and 22nd, and then it will open on a daily basis beginning May 27th. The outdoor pool is open from noon to 6, offering free swim days on June 13th, July 11th, and August 1st. Also, the city's 2 splash pads will plan to reopen daily beginning May 21st from 11 to 7. The Murphy Family Splash Pad is at Pocorn Park at 600 East 2nd Street, and the Carpenter Park Splash Pad is at 300 East Buena Vista. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Hey, New Mexico. Experiencing issues keeping your office technology up to date with these crazy supply chain issues? Well, DSI is here to help. We've diversified our products and solutions to help your business not just survive, but thrive in any situation. Have your teams collaborate and share with high-def video walls and interactive smart panels. With free unlimited support, the fear of any new technology is a thing of the past. Contact DSI today to upgrade your workspace. www.dsinm.com.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. The state golf championships wrapped up yesterday, and we had some golfers that do pretty well from our area up in Albuquerque, where all of the events were taking place. First of all, Chase Fields from Goddard High finished second in 4A girls, 10 strokes behind the leader. That was Riley Salome from Belen, but a good job for Chase, who shot a 71 on the second day. Isabel Bustillos, her teammate from Goddard, shot an 80. That was 10 strokes better than her first day. She finishes 5th overall in 4A girls. In 5A boys, Peyton Jones from Roswell finishes 4th overall. He shot a 74 just like he did the first day. And Jackson Hicks finishes 5th for NMMI in the 3A boys. Lily Barrios from Dexter, she finishes 11th overall. Dexter's team finished 2nd. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Make your home a smart home with smart home Wi-Fi from Plateau. Now you can connect more devices to fast, reliable Wi-Fi throughout your home. That means faster speeds with no downtime or lag. Enhance your connection, expand your reach, and experience whole home device control and protection with Plateau. Plateau offers true fiber with options starting as low as $60 a month, all with no caps and no hidden fees. Call today 575-755-1000 or stop by 1001 South Main in Roswell. Get smart home Wi-Fi today from Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
I have a snake for your drain. You might want to step back.
Oh no, baby.
All AC units moke a little. Is normal.
Oh no, baby.
Haha, now your sprinkler system's strong like bull.
Come on now. Don't let any fool work on your plumbing and air conditioning. Fergalicious. From clogged drains to sprinkler systems, Fergie's Plumbing and Heating is on the job. And who are you going to call for air filters and spring servicing on your AC unit? Fergalicious. Call Fergie's today, 622-2660. Nothing but love. Fergalicious.
What's better than Rib Crib's slow smoked ribs? More of them, that's what. Rib Crib presents Rib Fest. We're talking endless slow smoked righteous ribs, plus unlimited sides and bottomless refills, all for only $17.99 after 4 p.m. Choose from Rib Crib's original signature rub or go sweet and sticky. Plus all your favorite sides like coleslaw, mac and cheese, sweet and smoky beans, and so much more. It's a rib-tastic celebration you can really sink your teeth into. Rib Fest starting at 4 p.m. all month long at Rib Crib on North Main in Roswell. Smoking the good stuff since 1992.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Linen can absorb up to 20 times its weight in moisture before it feels damp. Now, you don't have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom anymore. Here's Mike Winters.
That might be a single person's test. Don't try that as a married couple. Just sage advice there, trust me. Good morning. It is 7:43, and I apologize, but I screwed up here and accidentally double booked here. So we do have joining us here this morning from the Chavez County Federated Republican Women, Nicole Rogers and Christina Arnold back with us.
Good morning.
Good morning, ladies. How you doing today?
Very good.
Good. So I know you guys are. You guys are always busy in general, but this is kind of a busy time for the Chavez County Federated Republican Women. We got primaries. I guess is it less than a month? It's around a month away here in June, and so this is that time where, I guess for you guys, it's the quiet before the storm, but it's still a storm because obviously for folks to know that you guys are kind of on the sidelines right now. You're just there throwing everything at the wall for Republicans to see and let them kind of decide what they want to do here. So
we try to be, non-biased about it.
Exactly.
And we want to put all that information out there.
Yeah.
But come June, 8th.
Then your priorities shift a little bit, and then it's
absolutely.
then it's 100% behind our candidates going towards the general election.
That's right.
So right now it's kind of that limbo-y busy but not busy, like you're not physically busy but mentally, and like, you know what I mean, like you're gearing up for it. Is that pretty fair assessment?
We're in rest mode.
There you go. But really, it's right now it's all about education and information. So hopefully, folks have been coming out to the Federated Republican Women meetings here, because pretty much every one of these meetings, you guys have had various candidates running for state, local, and even federal, I believe, offices here. So you guys are pretty much still in the middle of that right now, right?
Yes.
All right. So where are we at? What's on tap for the next meeting here?
Good.
Oh, okay. We have.
You should do rock, paper, scissors.
I know, right? I was about to. We should have done that. We'll alternate from here out. So we actually have Representative Candy Azell.
Okay.
Representative Greg Nybert.
Okay.
Nicole Rogers for Magistrate Judge. Casey Rogers for Magistrate Judge.
Okay.
And then CD1 Louis Sanchez.
Okay.
Plus, we're going to hear a little quick. We have several scholarship winners. A couple scholarship winners we'll be hearing from. So
perfect.
And we have chicken and flank steak. So
nice.
We can't top that with anything better.
That's right. So even if you don't like what you're hearing, you at least like what you're putting in your mouth.
Yeah. Right.
And by the way, folks need to pay attention to the CD1 race here because that's kind of a new deal for everybody. Odds are pretty good. You're probably in CD1 now if you're living in Roswell. Not necessarily, but most of Roswell's covered by CD1 now, if I remember right.
No, it actually stops like at the very northern part of town. But,
okay.
Like,
is it CD3 then that most of us are in? Yeah. Okay. But either way, you need to pay attention because we're not all just defaulting 2 anymore. We're not, and so I know a lot of us would pay attention to the Vet Harrell race and things, but that's a very small segment of town in the area now. 3 and 1 do now come into. We are the hodgepodge of the connecting point of all the different CD congressional districts here coming in. Yep. So obviously once you come in and pay attention to the magistrate judge and our state legislator, state rep talks, but probably pay particularly more attention, especially folks that kind of fall into the CD1 territory here.
Yes.
Pay attention because you're kind of learning about new candidates here and learning about new stuff. So probably have a lot more questions and things you need to know there. So come out and eat some chicken and steak and learn about this stuff.
Last month, we actually had CD1 candidate Michelle Garcia Holmes.
Yes.
So this month, Louis Sanchez is actually, it's actually been a good opportunity to get them both in.
Yeah.
Because they have to travel a good distance.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's only the northern part of Roswell, but we still want them to come in and be a part of.
Well, and I know, I'm talking with the congressional candidates, especially from CD1. It's like, we're kind of grumbling about how this ended up and things, but for some of those folks, they're actually kind of happy, especially on the Republican side, because in essence, it kind of opens up the field a little bit where they've got some more conservatives in their district.
Exactly.
And so they're happy and thinking, now we got to fight. And so this CD1 race, the CD3 race too, this could go. You play cards right, you could get more than one Republican in those 3 seats.
I was actually amazed by that because it looked like they were trying to take a vet out.
Yeah.
But they only weakened the other candidate.
I'm just saying it. I mean, I now more than ever, I always feel like we got at best a chance of one Republican out of the 3 CD seat or congressional seats here. Now, I mean, 3's not even out of the picture, but 2's a legit possibility here if people vote and people educate themselves and go out there, and on top of a fact that Well, a lot of Democrats are in the hot seat right now because of the world we live in for the last 2 years, and people are tired of this. So now more than ever, this election is very important, and any opportunity you get to sit and hear candidates, whether you agree with them or not, all candidates, you need to hear and listen and see what they have to say, and that way you're making right decisions when it comes to June primaries, and of course when you make your votes in November here. So. And especially your local races, because let's face it, county commission, magistrate judge, some of these races are decided in the primary, and this is actually the case in our magistrate judge. So, so you don't get a chance to do a vote again in November. You need to do your homework on, say, magistrate judge right now and start talking and then asking questions and finding the candidate that's right for you. And that's where we're at right now. But it's a busy time. So best thing you can do is come to the meetings. Come to the meetings. What's the date and time on the next
May 18th?
May 18th, yes. Which is
next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday,
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
1 week from today. You guys meet at the Convention and Civic Center.
At 11:30.
At 11:30.
That's when the doors open, and then we start the meeting at noon.
Okay. You do need to RSVP, correct?
If you're going to eat, yes.
Yes. And why would you not eat?
But always call and we can find you a seat, I'm sure. Yeah.
And then, of course, if you space out, and it's that, you're on your own for grub, but come on in and hear and listen. Don't bring your own chips bag or nothing. We don't get that guy in the back opening chips all out. Sorry.
There's always one.
Yeah. That's funny. Actually, the convention, you can't bring your own food.
They don't.
We don't have the Lay's people back in the back of the room. Although that popcorn is a great idea. Because it is a show.
Well, and that's the problem is you get there and then you smell the food. You're like, I'm not going to eat. And then you're like, I should have ate.
Yeah. And it's good food.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they do a great job over there. But really, that's what this is about. And by the way, it is the Chaves County Federated Republic of Women, but you don't have to be a female to be a part of the Chaves County Federated Republic of Women. Men are also a part of it. Kind of like
they're associate members.
Associate. I always want to, because I'm American Legion, I always say auxiliary, but associate members, and so they are involved as well. But really, and then of course for folks that aren't aware, when it's not election season per se, the Chaves County Federated Republic of Women do a lot of nonprofit work, scholarships, and working with other organizations within the community to help those nonprofits, things like that. So when it's political season, they're hot and heavy educating and getting word out about candidates. But outside of that, it's a service organization helping in our community here.
We are a civic group, so yes, we do try to do a lot of community stuff.
So I imagine you could always use more members to come and be part of the planning, the executing, and some of the brute force of making these events happen, kind of thing.
Definitely love people to get involved.
Yeah, and I guess a requirement there is you have to be a registered Republican.
That is required.
And then to be in the main part, you do have to be a woman. But you can bring your husband, and they can serve as well here in the side there and doing things.
Yes, as an associate member. We love them. Yes.
I don't know why associate does not just stay in my head.
It does,
I always want to say auxiliary.
Auxiliary does make sense. But
I think it's just how my brain is.
Well, for us, it's probably what the ladies before us preferred. So
exactly. Yeah, it does have a kind of a fancier.
Yeah.
I'm with the auxiliary. It does have a little more panache.
More panache. That's cute.
But really, seriously, if folks want to get involved, this is the way. And to be honest, when we talk about if you're not happy with going on in the world, if you're, you know what I mean, it sure is fun to sit on your social media and just make pot shots. I get you, because that's easy to do. But if you want to affect change positively, if you want to make a difference, you got to roll up your sleeves and get involved. And if the conservative Republican values are what you follow, then you need to be a part of organizations that support that. And that's what's going on here.
We're definitely going to need volunteers, people who want to engage. That's what's coming up after the primaries. People out and about. And so, anyone who's interested in actually participating or just changing things, then, we can definitely direct them on how to help.
And of course, like if you're wanting to work with, say, campaigns directly, but you're kind of like not sure which direction to go, that use the Chaves County Federated Republican Women as your tool to decide which candidates that you really align up with and want to get more involved,
And we can also help,
campaign.
Help connect them. So, if they want to get in touch with certain campaigns because they want to help, definitely you can reach out and we can put them in the right direction.
I mean, just to give people an idea, Nicole, talk about some of the things you need just for your campaign alone. Talk about like what volunteers, how they serve you in your campaign.
Well, first of all, getting involved, educating yourself, talking to people. Word of mouth is always a good thing.
Yeah.
But door knocking, boots on the ground type stuff, that's hard to get somebody to actually commit to do that.
Well, you're actually going into someone's like personal space a little bit, and some people aren't comfortable doing that. Others aren't. They just don't have that filter.
Right. And for some it's fairly simple. I've knocked thousands and thousands and thousands of doors. It's not a big deal for me to talk to people, but it takes a lot out of somebody to do that.
It was for me. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah.
Well, but then you do a couple, and then you get a little more comfortable.
I get a rhythm because I was kind of the imposition is my issue.
Sure.
I was raised, I always am concerned.
Oh, you're cooking? I'll come back.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, is that a good TV show? I'll come back.
You're in the middle of a movie. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. But then you have to know, you got to put out signs, you got to put out banners, all of that stuff takes time.
Absolutely.
And it's just one of those. Education first. I mean, that's the first thing you can do to serve anything.
Sure.
Is to educate yourself.
And the more, I guess you say the lower level of race, the more help is needed. And what I mean, because obviously you get into governor and those races, there's companies that are helping. You know what I mean? But when you talk about judges and county commissioners, and these are your neighbors. These are people that live in your backyard, and so.
And Chaves County is a big county.
Absolutely. Yeah. So maybe even your daily expertise. Maybe you're a lawyer or something. Maybe some of your legal skills will serve the campaign well, and you can help in that capacity. Or maybe you're a graphic artist, graphic designer, or a social media specialist, and you can kind of help the campaign through your services that way. So maybe it's your professional services that can even help, and especially at that level. They desperately would love to have you join the campaigns and help out and be a part of that. So learn more about that by coming to the next meeting here.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Again, it's May 18th.
Wednesday, May 18th.
1 week from today.
That's right.
11 a.m. at the, not 11?
No, the doors open at 11:30.
Okay. Oh, 11:30.
Yeah.
We tell people 11 and they're just going to be there.
Then they'll be gone by noon. They'll leave.
Doors open at 11:30 at the Convention and Civic Center here. And is there a cost for meals?
Yes, the meal is $16.
$16 an RSVP. Where do they RSVP with?
We usually actually send out a notice, and it's also noted on Facebook. They can also call us. I can throw my number out there if you'd like me to. But, everybody got a pen? It's 505-353-6669.
But if you leave a message, if you don't remember that or not near a pen or you can't write it down, you can go to the Chaves County Federated Republican Women page.
That's right.
And then you can RSVP through there or shoot a message and say, hey, how do I do this? And then someone will help you out there. But you probably don't even have to type in all of Chaves County Federated. You could probably get Chaves County Federated, and by the time you get there, it should pop right up on the thing. And then you can like and follow it, and then you can stay up to date on any other events if they have a special occasion or special event or something that kind of comes up, which I'm sure happens quite a bit outside the regular schedule of events. You can stay up to date on all that kind of stuff too. And of course, links to if you have questions to get involved in more Republican campaigns here, and you're looking for how do I get a hold of so-and-so, reach out to the Chaves County Federated Republican. They're a resource to help you to do that and do all of that. So, and then of course, if you want to get really involved, fair season's right around the corner. I imagine you guys will be manning booths and everything like that pretty soon here too. Yeah. The week of eating funnel cakes.
Right. Oh, turkey legs.
Yeah.
Oh, turkey legs. Fried turkey legs, huh? Oh,
I got less than a minute before we go to news, so I'm curious. Like when you're week out at the fair, what's your go-to? Is it turkey legs? For
Probably,
you?
yes.
Okay. Christina, what's your go-to?
Yeah, I don't need any of that.
You don't need. This isn't about need.
No, I don't eat. I don't eat it.
You're lying. You know you eat one of these things.
No. I'm ashamed to tell you this, but I haven't been to a fair since I was 13.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There you
Corn
go.
dog?
No, sorry.
Take her to the fair.
I'll take her.
Get her some funnel cake. Get her a turkey leg.
We're going.
My grandma actually made funnel cakes, so yes, I love.
You hear that, Chaves County? Put her in a booth so she can eat some fair food this year. Thank you, guys.
Yes,
Thank you for. Sorry about making you wait a few minutes. I didn't mean to. My big dumb head forgot to write stuff down. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. All right, it's 8 o'clock. You listen to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jeremy House. Inflation cooled off slightly in April.
The Consumer Price Index rose 8.3% over the past 12 months to 0.3% in April alone. The CPI rose 8.5% annually in March and a whopping 1.2% in that month alone. Economists expect inflation to slow slightly more than it did in April as gas and oil prices decline from a peak driven by the war in Ukraine.
That's correspondent Bernie Bennett reporting. The House has approved a fresh $40 billion Ukraine aid package that adds to President Biden's initial request. The bill won wide bipartisan support. It contains $7 billion more than Mr. Biden's plan from last month and is evenly divided between defense and humanitarian programs. President Biden's suspension of new oil and gas lease sales goes to court. White House correspondent Greg Cluxton reports.
A federal appeals court in New Orleans is hearing arguments about whether the president legally suspended new oil and gas lease sales because of climate change worries. The case has not been tried, but a federal judge blocked the order, saying only Congress could suspend the sales. Federal lawyers say the government has broad power to hold, cancel, or defer lease sales. The president's action is opposed by 13 states. Greg Clugston, Washington.
European Union authorities say the bloc will no longer require masks to be worn at airports and on planes starting next week amid the easing of coronavirus restrictions. The new recommendations take effect on May 16th. Rules for masks may still vary by airline beyond that date if they fly to or from destinations where the rules are different. On Wall Street, the Dow was up nearly 241 points at 32,401. More on these stories at townhall.com.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barata. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Quarterback Tom Brady already has a job lined up after he retires.
The 7-time Super Bowl champion will join Fox Sports as its lead football analyst when his playing days are over. But the network says Brady will decide when that will be. Brady announced his retirement this offseason, but recently changed his mind, saying he'll return to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for his 23rd NFL season. Fox says Brady will join Kevin Burkhardt on its top broadcast team. Brady also will serve as an ambassador for the network. He won his 7th Super Bowl with the Bucs after the 2020 season. Brady teamed up with Bill Belichick to win 6 Super Bowls in 20 seasons with the Patriots. I'm Mike Hempen.
A court in Pakistan has ordered an intelligence agency not to arrest a prominent anchor person who is accused of spreading fake news against the military. News and analysis at townhall.com. Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates says he's tested positive for COVID-19 and is experiencing mild symptoms.
The billionaire says via Twitter he'll isolate himself until he's healthy again. Gates also says he's fortunate to be vaccinated and boosted. In addition, Gates says it's good to have access to testing and great medical care. Gates is a vocal proponent for pandemic mitigation measures, specifically access to vaccines and medication for poorer countries.
That's correspondent Andrew Stewart reporting. The people who screen your bag at the airport are expecting big crowds this summer, and in hopes of keeping lines from growing too long, the Transportation Security Administration says it's planning to move screeners from some airports to busier ones. The TSA has screened about 90% as many people in April and May as it screened in the same stretch of 2019. More on these stories at
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. And then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
They call it the deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Let me see if I got an update. They've given us an update on NM roads here. If they've opened up that road yet or not. I think it's back open now. According to New Mexico, the Department of Transportation, MDOT road or NM Roads website, they no longer have 285 closed. So I think they've opened it back up.
Okay.
Continue to use caution as you go through the area and stuff like that.
Obviously, it's still a little hairy.
Yeah, and then hopefully we were talking about the buses earlier in Hagerman there. Some were impacted by that. If you're one of those, of course, by now you've hopefully made contact. It's 8 o'clock, but if you're impacted by that, the Hagerman schools are asking college schools and find out what to do next on that. So, but looks like it's back open. So if you do have plans to head south, like Sean does, to go to the hospital,
right? Head to the hospital. To go through some wreckage first.
I'm going to leave no context. I'm just going to leave it right there and move on. No, he's going to be down there doing a broadcast remote later today.
From 11 to 1, since it's National Hospital Week, we're going to be celebrating the caregivers, the physicians, the doctors, nurses, janitors, folks that basically kept us alive throughout the pandemic.
There you
janitors
go.
Especially, because they were the ones cleaning what nobody wanted to touch.
Exactly.
So, you want to talk about unsung heroes? Garbage men, or garbage people, I guess. Well, folks who work in the sanitation department, janitors, all those folks.
The service industry, they're the offensive linemen of the world.
Right.
Where when they do their job and everything great, you know anything about them, and they just keep doing gangbusters work for us. And
the white blood cells of the work world.
Yeah, there you go.
Fighting off the nonsense so that we can get stuff done.
Good reference, Mr. Body.
Thanks. Hey, my generation grew up with Slim Goodbody, not Mr. Body. Thanks much. Slim Goodbody was nightmare fuel.
I want to know, like you go to the American History Museum, and there is a television section with iconic television things.
Sure.
You know, Dorothy's shoes, the Archie Bunker's chair, items like that. Why isn't Slim Goodbody's unitard?
I was just going to ask, is it amongst the?
It isn't, to my knowledge.
Well,
why is it not?
That's a shame. I'll tell you why.
because he's probably still wearing it to this day.
It's the same unitard.
It's the same one. Think about how weird it was to be like the guy had to print that up before Slim Goodbody was a thing.
Yeah.
It's like you go to a place, you're like, okay, so let me explain.
Yeah.
If you were to take a human being, slice him down from like spine, all the way down his spine to, we'll call it the cleftal horizon, right to the bum line, and then split him open and turn him inside out. That's what I want on the outside of a unitard.
I want that on a suit. Okay.
All right. Do you want a little loose? No. They need to see everything.
Yeah. And that's the other thing.
That's the whole other thing about Slim Goodbody. Because I was a kid when I was watching it.
Yeah.
Usually on my knees in front of the TV, which was all weird for a whole different reason. And yeah, Slim Goodbody was his outfit was very revealing.
It was skin tight.
Yes.
And so you saw
all of
curve.
Slim's good body.
Yeah, you got every curve of Mr. Slim Goodbody.
And it was weird too because that's like right around the intestinal part.
Yeah.
And then it was odd.
It is oogie uncomfortable now.
Mm-hmm.
It back then, I don't know.
What's funny is I don't have like there's large portions of my childhood that I just don't remember. Maybe that's on purpose. I vividly remember Slim Goodbody. The hair, I vividly remember him.
See, and there's a couple of those that I like that I remember because I'm a little older than you. So there's a couple like Romper Room's one I always remember, and the Bee, which the Bee's face is actually very disturbing when you look at it now.
Pretty much the entirety of Romper Room was disturbing.
But I loved it. It was at the time. At the time, that was probably my favorite show as a kid. Like right there, I'd be up every morning there watching Romper. I used to. You know how they used to let you submit pictures and things? I used to send drawings so they get on the radio or get on the TV show. I did that one, and it was Captain 20 was the other one. I've told this story because it was Captain 20 and then Romper Room or Romper Room, then Captain 20. I don't remember which the order was there. But yeah, I used to. Matter of fact, there was a cartoon, a Japanese anime style cartoon where there was in essence this big. It looked almost like a naval ship that floated through space, and it was kind of like the Enterprise knockoff. But I can't remember the name of it, but I loved it. And it was always on around the time of Captain 20 and Romper Room. So I used to draw pictures of that ship and send them to Captain 20. And one of them got on the show, and I was like all happy. So
I'm trying to find a picture of Mr. B. Is it Mr. Doobie?
Oh, it was just the Bee from Romper Room. That's all I knew.
Romper Room.
Romper Room Bee. But the mask is in the American History Museum. And it looks creepy if you look at it and it's formed that way.
I'm guessing that's it.
It's kind of, it's not.
That?
It's kind of, but not quite it. Now, the face is similar, sort of.
Okay.
But it doesn't, like that, I don't know. It's close, actually. Yeah, but that's on a different version.
That's off-putting.
Yeah.
This might be like British. Well, the one I found was the Australian version, but I could totally see, how something like that could be off-putting very much. A lot of that Uncanny Valley stuff I really struggle with.
Yeah. Now, granted, and I'm like also grew on the tippy end of H.R. Puffin stuff and those kind of things. Like I was of an age where those shows were still kids programming.
Right.
You were probably, I think you missed like that a bit. You were, because H.R. Puffin stuff was more early 80s.
The first shows that I remember watching, like distinctly remember watching, were like Mr. Rogers, obviously, Sesame Street. But then I remember Eureka's Castle and David the Gnome, which were both shows on early Nickelodeon. We're going to call it like late 80s, maybe 1990.
See, the stuff I'm talking about, Nickelodeon wasn't even a thing. Cable wasn't a thing.
87, we'll call it. And the reason I remember that was because we had just gotten cable, basically because the house that we had moved into had cable and they just didn't turn it off. So we had cable.
Nice.
So I got to watch all those shows. So I remember David the Gnome and Eureka's Castle were two that I specifically remember watching.
Yeah. See, I didn't have any of that till later in my youth. And then I got Disney Channel and I was like, whoa, Disney Channel. That's crazy. Nickelodeon. But we Romper Room. But yeah, H.R. Puffin stuff, Land of the Lost. These are shows that were very creepy. Even now, they kind of creep me out back then, but you watch them now, they're really creepy.
70s and 80s children's television programming is in general very creepy looking.
A lot of nightmare fuel there.
And that's understandable because a lot of it's like, well, what appeals to kids? Bright colors, funny faces, clowns. that's what they had to go on.
Although none of it still creeps me out as much as the Wiggles do. They still creep me out the most.
Fair enough. You know what? Sit down and watch Blippi for 5 minutes. All right?
I'll take your word. I'm not that deep into the kids program.
I don't recommend it.
Yeah, I know the big hits, and every time I see the Wiggles thing perform,
Blippi is hot garbage.
It just doesn't look natural.
It's rough.
Yeah. All right, I guess enough of our torturous childhood television programming.
The reason we are the way we are.
And this is why we're messed up like a soup sandwich. It is 8:14. Superintendent for the Roswell Independent School District, Brian Luck, going to join us here in just a minute.
Super Nintendo Chalmers?
Give us an update on what's happening and at last night's school board meeting, and also talk about what else is going on at the school district here. We're getting there. May. Everyone's getting out of school. There's summeritis, I think, is starting to settle in a little bit for some folks. So, but we'll talk all about that with Brian. Then later on, we'll get you up to date with the news of the local variety, along with your Town Hall Wall Street business update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do anything else, though, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have mostly sunny conditions in the forecast early today, but we do have a dry line over the area, and that could kick up some showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. A few of those storms could be severe. Large hail and damaging wind will be possible. This afternoon's high in the mid-90s. For tonight, partly cloudy and 60, and then plenty of sun coming up on Thursday and mid-90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 74 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 64% with winds out of the south at 10 miles per hour. Today's not pleasant. I wish I had pleasant, but it really is a big bag of stink today for the weather. We do have a chance at some isolated thunderstorms after 4 today. They say some of these storms could produce some gusty winds. Mostly sunny with a high of 98 today. Winds will be up out of the southeast early this morning, 5 to 15, but later today increasing 15 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. Tonight, we're looking at a 20% chance of isolated thunderstorms before 7, and then some showers after that, mainly between till about 10 p.m. They said some storms could produce gusty winds, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 60. Breezy with winds out of the south, 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. They'll drop down around 10 to 15 after midnight tonight. And then for your Thursday, mostly sunny, 97, winds calmer out of the southwest, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, sunny and 93. That'll actually be quite pleasant compared to some of this. Northwest winds 5 to 10. And then warming back up for the weekend. Sunny and 97 on Saturday, sunny 100 for a high on Sunday. And then I think we got another heat wave beginning Sunday because they're opening the work week next week with highs of 101. So be prepared. All right, it is 8:17. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then Roswell Independent School District Superintendent Brian Luck will join us here on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
When it comes to the security of your home or business, you want a local company, one that has a personal investment right here in Southeast New Mexico. Zenith Security Services is your local Honeywell dealer. Zenith can handle all of your business and residential alarms, cameras, and IT services, as well as home theater installations, all from a local company. The Spring Starter Package is now available at Zenith Security Services for your home or business. Call the real Zenith Security Services today, 575-626-3521. Zenith Security Services, protection with a local
Attention
touch.
gun and knife collectors. The Evening Lions Club and 505 Productions presents the Carlsbad Gun Show. Saturday, May 14th and Sunday, May 15th at the Walter Gerald's Event Center. Knives, guns, reloading supplies, Western collectibles, and great gifts. Jewelry, antiques, collectibles, and more. Brands you know and love like Winchester, Colt, Ruger, Case, and so much more. Open Saturday, 9 to 5, 10 to 4 on Sunday. Bring the whole family. Adult $6 and $10 for both days. Kids 12 and under are free. The Carlsbad Gun Show, May 14th and 15th at the Walter Gerald's Event Center in Carlsbad. Don't miss it. If you need a Kubota that works and plays hard, stop looking. You'll find everything you need at Amigo Machinery. When it comes to tough Kubota tractors, mowers, construction equipment, and utility vehicles, all with low-rate financing, Amigo Machinery is your one-stop shop. We are passionately committed to providing our customers with the highest quality products, most innovative solutions, and services delivered with integrity and professionalism. Stop by Amigo Machinery in Roswell or see us online at amigo-machinery.com.
There are 3 key phrases that need to be spoken on a regular basis in a healthy marriage. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, for over 20 years, Julie and I have been sharing these 3 key phrases, and here they are. I love you, I'm sorry, and I forgive you.
Ephesians 4:32 says, be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ, God forgave you.
You know, it's so easy to expect others to love us, to say I'm sorry, and to forgive us. But you know, it's really a gift that we give each other. You know, the Bible teaches us we sow and we reap. Sow into your spouse, I love you, I forgive you, I'm sorry. And then you'll reap a harvest in return. Someone has to start the process. Let that be you today so you can really enjoy your marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 1 in 3 snake bite victims is drunk. 1 in 5 is tattooed. Hold my beer and check this out. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Brian Luck, Roswell Independent School District Superintendent. Morning, sir. How you doing today?
I'm well, sir. Good morning. How are you?
Doing great. Great. Good news. I think your counterpart, Aaron Hagerman, they were dealing with some issues because of that accident this morning. So that road's cleared. But if I want to remind folks, you probably have arrangements made. It's already 8:20 in the morning. But just in case, some of the bus routes west of that, where that accident was, were impacted. So you might need to call your teachers, and make some arrangements there. But nothing like that in Roswell this morning anyway. But sometimes it happens.
Yes, it does. It does. Hopefully everybody's okay.
Yeah, absolutely here. So last night, the Roswell Independent School District School Board did meet here, and as they do the second Tuesday of every month. Mm-hmm. At this time of year, because it's kind of wrapping up the school year, and so it's busy there. But for you guys, is it a busier time or a quieter time as far as the board goes? Or is it just business as usual? There's no really quiet busy on that.
You know, I think with the way this year has been, it's hard to get a good vibe. I mean, a good judge of what a normal year looks like.
Sure,
I know that we have end of year things that by statute we have to have done by particular dates, and we brought a lot of that to the board last night, and had a lot of recognitions, and just like you were saying, just
it's kind of button up things. The heavy lifting's already been done.
Absolutely, and a little bit of talk about things that are coming up in the summer. But for the most part, just trying to finish out. I know the board has been super supportive, and they're tired too, and just like everybody else is in our communities, just
ready for a little break.
I think this particular summer, I don't know that anybody's ever been more ready for a summer, or a summer has ever been more looked forward to than the summer of 2022.
Absolutely, but hindsight, looking back, though, I mean, we've been through an amazing amount of stuff this last couple years, but this year especially too. And looking back, you kind of look and it's like, there was some really unsavory type things that went on here, but we did it. We got through it. There was some long days and some long nights, and there's going to be more of those, but I think we've had a great school year overall. Given the variables, given everything, our teachers, our admin, everyone's kicking butt and doing what they got to do to make an awesome school experience for every student in the district.
I think so. When you excuse me, when you look back at August and you think of even just the COVID stuff that we went through in August and in the fall with the kids having to wear masks and we wear masks in indoor sporting events, and we can't have everybody at a sporting event, or we can only have the parents, or it's a limited number of capacity, and then you end with basketball where we're back in, and so like we were talking off air, it does feel sometimes like that was forever ago. When you start thinking about that, and you're like, oh, that was just last August.
Yeah.
And it you do feel like you may have aged 10 years in the 1 year that we've had, but no, it has been a push, and I know from the school side of it, we couldn't have done it without our parents and our staff and everybody.
Every cog has to do their
everybody.
part.
I mean, it was interesting because I've lived here all my life, and it was one of the few times that I can honestly say that the town really did just make a big old circle and push and just say, we're going to get this done. We're going to get through it. Our businesses, the employers letting their employees go home because their kids were sent home because of a possible exposure, and it's the third time, and you've got to be kidding me. And you know what? We here we are, guys. And I don't say that lightly. Believe me, not at all. But it has been most definitely a learning experience.
Sure.
And I would like to hope that I don't have to use some of what I've learned again, but it has shown about resiliency here in our town, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
Absolutely, and I believe this in my heart. When this is all said and done, and we're getting closer to seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, I think here, but I think it's going to make us better at what we do. It's you hear the saying, "What doesn't kill you make you stronger," and I think it's going to make us stronger. And I believe that's still in my heart that the people. A lot of good things have come and will come out of this. It's bad and all that, but it's like any other time in human history where there's been adversarial times or just things when humanity overcomes those.
Right.
We come out better, and I think that's what's going to happen. I believe that too. But again, thank you to those teachers, those parents, the staff, everyone for being their part in the big picture here, and because at the end of the day, and this is why it works, because parents, teachers, admin, janitors, cafeteria workers, everybody wants the same thing. They want your kids to have the best exposure and opportunities in their education as possible, and if we can all agree that's where we want to happen, then we can all move the boat in the same direction.
That's right. So. That's right, and the shared vision. And I think early on our vision was get back and get in there. And then it was interesting. There was, about midway through the fall, there was about a week or two where you could just feel that's nice that they're back. Now we need to be doing more with them. And then it was the transition from, I'm just happy my kid's there. You can't be upset with them for that to, okay, yeah, you're right. Now let's make sure that we're trying to get back on track because we got a job to do. And
it's more than just getting me in the building. You got to educate them,
right? And about Christmas time, that switch just like a light switch, it kicks on, and we're moving, and we're hitting up here with the spring, and we've got our what I would say our testing season has passed. We're finishing up with, I have signed leave requests and trip tickets and for different things and fun things. And I'm just like, man, that looks so good to see those.
This is stuff you should be doing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Coming back across the desk for people to go to here, to go to there. And again, that's what kids remember from school.
Sure. Yeah. So hopefully, maybe next year kids will be doing field trips and it'll look, it's baby steps. I think it's, as we get progressing, it'll look more and more like what pre-pandemic, hopefully.
That'd be nice.
It'd be nice.
That's the plan.
But let's talk nuts and bolts here. Okay. Some of the highlights from last night's meeting that we want to make sure we let the public know about here.
Tell you what, we put in our time last night. We had about a 4-hour meeting, but had lots of things that we needed to get accomplished. We started off with some recognitions of some groups of people, and you always run the risk when you try to recognize this group or that group that you forget somebody, and,
Sure.
and it's like, well, why wasn't I up there? And it's like, no, that wasn't the case at all. But we did have a few groups, and one of them that I really want to highlight is this year in particular is our social workers. We have had so many things go on in our community outside of COVID, but you throw COVID into that, and this group has always been at a ready. I mean, we've had some tragedies at some of our schools this year where, I get a call and then I shoot a text out that says, activate the crisis team. And I'll get a response back that says, how many? And I'll say, all of them, half of them, whatever the case might be. And they have always been on the spot. And we bring in, any kind of agency that we can bring in that can assist that. And, that when your job is to be handed somebody else's problems, and you can't physically take that away from someone, that's tough.
Absolutely.
And those people do a phenomenal job. They've never even balked at it. We've run through some multiple day events where you're a week or 2 weeks at a building just to make sure that everything gets through. And it's a big testimony to our social workers in our district. And we're always looking, for more of those people, and they've just did a great job this year.
And they have unique jobs in that, like you said, yes, they're dealing with crisis and things, but it's one thing when you're just dealing with tragedy with adults, and there's a certain, but when you come to students, these are young men and women that their brains are still developing, they're still learning how to deal and manage and cope with emotions, and you know what I mean. They're processing all that and learning it. So that's an added layer of when tragedy strikes, how does someone who has never experienced those kinds of emotions handle those? And that's where these folks have really come in and worked and talked and helped them navigate through that with the families and everything else. And it's different when your brain's developed and everything, but when you're, you know what I mean? You just, when you don't have all the tools there or development yet to understand how to cope with that, those social workers really can come in and really help them understand and help them process through what's going on.
Right. And their expertise, I mean, we underwent every 15-minute event over at Roswell High a week or so ago.
Yeah.
And I watched from the other side of the event. And I actually was kind of watching my crew, my social workers crew, as they're just kind of mingling through the crowd and interacting with the kids and watching sort of what they're looking for. And it was really interesting just to see them work and things that they would cue on that an untrained eye would never have picked up. It's one thing if you see somebody just totally distraught and everybody's like, well, that's pretty obvious.
Sure.
But they, just highly trained, skilled individuals and cannot say enough about them. But you're right. Teaching somebody how to cope with things is not easy. I mean, that's not something that comes naturally to most people.
And there's and every person's different. Right. What works one way may not work with the next person, know, and so you got to get creative.
Yeah. And they do. We've had therapy dogs come in, and that's amazing watching, a kiddo come in and they'll just, they'll gravitate right to that animal and they'll start, petting it or talking to it. And then maybe they talk to the adult that's standing there or adult standing around, and it's
breaks the ice.
It does. And we're very blessed to have those resources here in town. And so we started by, kind of giving them some props for the work that they've done. Had a brief presentation in our information items on the redistricting process. So it was funny when my guy there at work that does this called me and said, hey, now we need to work on our redistricting process. I mean, I was just like, oh, you're kidding me. I'm out of here for sure. And he goes, what are you talking about? He said, no, it's the board. He said, this is the boundaries for the school board after the census. And I was like, oh, good. So we hired a consultant, and the board approved that a couple meetings ago. We've got some meetings coming up next week where they're going to be at all 5 of the districts that represented. We've got a flyer that we're trying to finalize. We've had some trouble with it because it was a little confusing as far as that it was this board member only, blah blah blah, and it's not. We have 5 districts represented here in our city. We have 5 elected school board members, and You can go to any of the meetings. You don't have to go to the one that's in your district.
Gotcha.
You're free to go. It's the same presentation. You can ask questions.
They're trying to make it convenient being one near
absolutely,
you.
Absolutely. So we picked a school within each of the districts, but there are multiple schools represented in each district. We just didn't have the time to have one at every school in the district. And some of the schools are covered by two different people. So our board boundaries don't coincide exactly with our school boundaries. So, Roswell High, for instance, may have 2 or 3 board members that actually represent people that go to Roswell High.
Gotcha.
So it's trying to put all that together is kind of tough.
Well, and it's, obviously representation needed things, but it's a little bit different than, like, say, city council, where the board is really serving all of the school district there, because one part of the district's needs aren't different than the.
Correct.
The curriculum's the same. Everything. The only thing different is, well, this school needs more bathrooms or whatever it is. But as far as it's all the same. So it's not as needed that, okay, well, I need the one that represents me is the one that represents my needs, and not really school board. It's all the same, And they come from the different districts, but they're not representing their district per se. It's
correct.
All of the district.
One of the things I've found in the years I've been with the district is a parent concern is a parent concern. Mm-hmm. And it's irrelevant if you live in the zone that comes with that board member. They'll probably point you in the right direction to get you to your board member, but they'll still take your concern and they'll take it on up the chain and get that going for you.
And at the end of the day, that if it's something of a bigger thing, they're all going to be debating and working on that issue together anyways.
Right, right. Yeah. So. The big thing with that is our meetings take place 16, 17, 18, 19 of next week.
Okay.
And like I said, I'll make sure that I get you the flyer. But if that's something that is that you're interested in attending, again, we'll have that out on our website as soon as we can get that up. Hopefully today.
And this is just kind of an informative Q&A type meetings, or
it'll be a repeat a little bit of what was done last night, kind of going over the process. We're looking for transparency. There's zero tricks up to this one. We want to make sure that we get the count as accurate as possible. We want to make sure that the boundaries and the zones are equitable.
Sure.
We're not looking to pull any tricks or any fast ones with this.
There's no political agendas here.
It was interesting that you say that, because in the presentation last night, the consultant goes over that, and he talks about things that have happened in the past, not so much here, but and how the cleanliness of drawing up the maps and drawing the boundaries and making it as uniform as possible, but still, acknowledging that there are unique factors within each of our districts. It was very informative, and so, like I said, that takes about 20, 30 minutes for their little presentation. And then they'll be available for questions.
Sure.
But again, it's open. So if you miss, Monday nights, for instance,
any one of the meetings, you'll get the information you need.
Monday nights at Military Heights, and that's District 2. But if you miss that, you can go to any of the others.
Sure.
We're not going to turn anybody away.
And unfortunately, Roswell's not that big of a town where it's that big of a travel to any of these different meetings.
Correct.
It's all,
Correct.
One in a town or another.
Yep. Yes, sir. Had a bond sale. We sold our bond the other day. Got a great rate out of it.
Okay.
The first time I've ever done one of those, and what I thought was pretty cool was the reputation that the district has. A testimony to previous school boards and previous superintendents, plural, that our district was sought after. We had people calling central office for about a month before. Hey, when are you going to sell that? And got a good rate, had to time the market a little bit.
Sure.
Didn't realize it was going to be quite that stressful. Just thought it was going to be a sale, and it was pretty cool. We were on a clock and had bids, and so, like I said, it went very, very well.
It was like a formal process.
A very formal process.
Yeah, something you didn't
very formal process.
Unless you do it every day, don't think much about it, kind of thing.
Correct. So we're in really good shape.
For folks that aren't, it's because the district has a great, in essence, a credit rating. I think it's called a little something different for government level stuff, but in essence, that's what it is. And so, kids, this is why it's great to work on your credit, because if you have a good credit score, then the people that want to give you money come to you, and that's what's going on. You got a great credit score. That's in essence what's going on here. And but that's why we say, and so use this as a lesson. That this is why I know it's hard when you're poor. I get you. I was broke airman, and but when you settle in, you just get a little responsible, and then next thing you know, you're gonna have people wanting to give you money too.
True, and it's a great kudos for our taxpayers
Absolutely.
too, because they approved this a few years ago. This is the second half of that. And again, it's reliability. When our district says we're going to do something, we do it. We've been entrusted with that from our taxpayers.
Yeah.
And just a great working relationship that we hope to continue going down the road.
Absolutely.
The money does go for things that we need.
Well, and that's something that's really half the battle when it comes to school board and what they do. Yes, they plan what content is going to be. Our teachers are going to be teaching things like that, but balancing the books, making sure the money's there where it needs to, and to be honest, that's usually the difference between a successful and an unsuccessful school district. And like when you hear problems at school districts in the news of various things, 9 times out of 10, money's involved, and the lack of good stewardship of it is usually the issue there. So this bond and all that is really. But what I'm talking about is people lining up is a true testament of what Brian's saying is this is of years and years of boards and superintendents and everyone else being good stewards with the money, spending when they need to, but when they don't, making sure that there's enough there for whatever comes next.
Well, and that's that accountability piece that I don't mind. I mean, I've been hired to do a job, but I also realize that I'm going to be held accountable to a standard that is very, very high. Like, multiple years worth of boards and superintendents, and anything less is not acceptable.
And I think another layer that adds to the impressiveness of what you're talking about is and let's face it, the Roswell and Penn School District over the last 20, 25 years has gone over a major overhaul as far as logistics and upgraded facilities. I mean, I would say almost every school in the district's either been upgraded or replaced in the last 20 years here. And granted, that's there was a need there and all that, but to be able to do that and come out here and where we're at today and saying we have a great, as far as our credit and those kind of things are in amazing shape after that much work, that much money being spent to do that. That's a true testament saying, you know what, they got the job done, and they didn't break the bank doing it. And that's
going to be our July conversation right there. But you're exactly right.
Yeah.
And again, it is the tracks have been laid for that foundation for us, and the walking instructions are pretty simple. Follow this model, and you'll be fine. And that's our plan right now is to continue. And you're right, we've got 3 left to go.
Yeah.
And then 2 big ones. So we'll figure that out.
Work's not done, but it's nice to see that we're closer to the finish than to the start.
that we are, absolutely.
Although, in all fairness, by the time you get these done, it's time to start back over and run.
Yes, it will.
It's like road cruise. It never ends. It just, you get one done, you start back over the beginning.
Job security.
What's next on the agenda from last night that we wanted to spotlight? Anything else?
You know what? We had just some housekeeping business. End of the year, lots of grants that we had to approve, lots of little financial stuff, some bars, just tidying up things and getting it buttoned up so that we can call it a day. We did have our Open Meetings Act resolution that was on the agenda, which was basically just these are our meeting dates for the next 12 months. We'll get that published out for everybody. Went through some policies and then had our budget presentation by Mr. Cole. And that was pretty substantial presentation. Chad did a really good job. Lots of moving pieces to that thing. One of the groups that we recognized early on was a group from the community that volunteered to come in and be a part of the budget process. They asked some questions, got a little feedback from them, but just putting all that together is pretty massive.
Sure.
And again, transparency the whole way.
Sure.
Big budget with lots of things that the state regulates this and the federal government regulates that, and you've got this small piece over here that you can do this with, and a really good job.
There's a lot of hands out, and there's a lot of different earmarks and things, and and that's really the difference between your government school board, any entity like that, a budget versus, say, your home budget, where money comes from is maybe earmarked. And so, yeah, there might be plenty of money over here, but that's grant money that's earmarked only for Project X. Therefore, we can't take that money to pay for Project B, which we really need more money for Project B. That's going to come out of the general fund. But, oh, wait. We got this that's got to come out of the general fund, so Project B ain't going to. Is there another grant out there where maybe we can get Project B funded with? And that's the kind of talk they're talking about here. So it's not like you saying, all right, I got X amount of dollars. How do I save some of that and pay the bills with the rest?
Right.
It is, but it's a little more complex than that you do at the house there because money comes from different sources. And back to the transparency thing. If it's public monies, there's strings, there's ways that you have to do it. So the district has to jump through whatever hoop that came with said string of money.
That's right.
And sometimes the juice is worth the squeeze there. Sometimes it's not. And that's where the school board has to balance.
Right.
Yeah, we take that money. No, we don't take that money. Yes, we need money to do this. No, that can wait. That's the juggling act that they've got to negotiate. Obviously, the department heads and everything all got they're trying to steer them in different directions, and the board's got to sit down and say, what's priority, what can wait. And that's it's a lot of debating, I'm sure, going over, because when you've got 5 people, there's 5 different opinions, and that's what they're going to do.
The interesting thing with a lot of the federal money that's coming through right now, the stipulations with it is very, very specific. And I get tickled sometimes. I have people say, well, you better not misuse that. And I'm like, I have to go through like 7 people to spend that money.
I can't misuse it even if I wanted to.
I'm pretty sure that we're not, but again, my standard answer is, number one, I would never want to.
Sure.
But number two, if we can use some of that for things that we need, we're going to try to do everything we can.
Absolutely. You're going to get the most bang for that buck.
We're going, like your juice reference a minute ago, we're going to squeeze as hard as we can to try to get that for where we need it. But understand, it all has an earmark, and it has to go to that, and that's where it's going to go.
Sure. But the thing is, because they've done such a good job with this, this job is way easier than some other districts. I mean, this is that difference between why we're lucky and where we could be, because I don't know how many times you watch the news and certain District X or County Commission B is it got Santa Fe crawling up their tail because misappropriation of funds, and it may not even be nefarious. It could be just a lack of, they don't know what they're doing. You know what I mean? And we're blessed. We have people that come in that are good stewards, that when they don't know, they find out from people that do know and make sure that they're in compliance and transparent.
As a new guy coming in and having a quasi-decent idea of what was going on, I didn't. I mean, I will openly admit that. And having the team that I have that just has run straight forward, just like they always would. They, I'll visit with them and I'll say, okay, now explain this to me. Okay, we'll explain it.
Explain to me in layman terms, or
and okay, now why can't we do that again? And here's the reasons why. And it has been an eye-opening learning experience, but it's also been something that just makes me step back and go, oh my gosh, we have great people.
Yeah,
I mean, because they just go forward. That's their job, and they get it done. And you made a comment like with the state deadlines. And some of the deadlines are not easy to find. Some of the mechanisms by which you have to turn things in is not an easy. It's
you almost
not
think it's by design sometimes.
I'm beginning to wonder that. Yeah, but as a whole, our team downtown has just again they've just muttered through it. And when we hit our deadlines and we get things done, and again, very little questions asked from the state. Because of the reputation, and we want to make sure that we maintain that. And
absolutely,
that we maintain that by hitting our deadlines and doing what's asked of us.
Hey, parents, just like you got the good kid and bad kid, you don't look at the good kid as hard when the bad. You know what I mean? That's in essence. I know that's a little, but that's in essence. That's kind of we've got a reputation of being good stewards, good above board, and all that. So guess what? They're going to give us the benefit of the doubt because they say they're trustworthy, they are good. But the school district that's constantly, misappropriating or not doing things right, guess what? They're going to come down with the hammer on those. And so, and I think all of us know the less Big Brother's looking over our shoulder doing our job, the better that is for all of us. So,
yes. Well, and I would rather set an example than be made an example.
Exactly.
So,
Fair
that's
point.
kind of been my goal for my career here.
That's right. That's especially in this day and age. That's a fair point.
That's right.
Watch the TikTok video. Don't be the TikTok video.
That's right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Is there any other highlights from the meeting that we want to make sure we let folks know about?
You know what? I've got two real quick things.
Okay.
Our construction update on Mesa. Nancy Lopez. Mesa's moving forward. As of right now, not really any type of major issues that we're working with. Everything seems to be on schedule.
Good.
Looking for still a completion date over there of December 2023.
The eve of Christmas Eve.
Tell you what, I'm hoping if contractor holds true to past years, that we'll be in there, and they'll release it back to us probably in phases.
Gotcha.
But that 2023 would be the turnkey moment for everything, and can call it a day right there.
Give you the keys and it's all yours.
That's exactly right, and start paying on it. And then Nancy Lopez, we're still working with our architects.
Okay.
Getting that up and running. The other thing, and this is, again, I'll have a flyer for you guys. June 9th at Roswell High School, there's going to be, it's a listening tour with the Hispanic Education Act.
Okay.
And it's an opportunity, again, for the PED to get out and to listen to things that are concerning our residents.
Gotcha.
We chose that date because it was after, and yes, it is after school's out. They just sent these out to us the other day. But the one date was like next week, and I was like, man, there's too much going on right now.
Not enough lead time for that one.
Too many people are doing end of year things, and so
everyone catch your breath a little bit.
Catch your breath, and again, I'll make sure that I get that to you guys. That'll be June 9th, 3:30 to 6 at Roswell High. So we're super excited about that. And
so is the point of that kind of trying to get connected better with Hispanic speaking in the school district and what they need kind of thing, or is it more than that?
Well, so our state has shifted back some of their attention to the Yazzie Martinez lawsuit, which occurred, and they made the findings right before COVID broke out. And then I don't want to say that it's had to take a back seat, but for a while it has taken a back seat.
Yeah.
And it's
bigger fish to fry.
It ties with equitability.
Gotcha.
And making sure that access is equal across.
Perfect. Okay.
Across. And
I kind of figure it was something that
right.
So it's really they're trying to find out, all right, is there equal access, equal access, and if not, why and where is it? And let's see if we can address
That's
that.
right.
Gotcha. So if these areas are something that you have input on, please come to this meeting, because you at the meeting helps the process and helps us get it fixed.
Right,
So.
and we've started this process. We have an equity council that was formed actually before I came on. We meet. We haven't met in the last 35 days. But we have traditionally met once a month, and we're getting off the ground. So the timing is really good for me.
Gotcha.
To get a vibe for, okay, what is the state looking for from this group?
Sure.
And two is again, this is where I grew up, and I do take great offense when I hear that things aren't right.
Sure.
And under my watch, I don't want that. I want to make sure that what you need, you have.
Yeah.
And then you take your God-given abilities and do what you can with it.
Yeah. Well, it's all our people. It's like Roswell, this area, we're all, we're one community, or our people, and we want to take care of our people
That's
here.
right.
And so if something's missing here, please let them know. And Brian's like, so we can fix it.
Right.
Because you can't fix what you don't know. And
That's right.
that's why we have these meetings. So
true.
So again, June 9th, and more information will come out. We'll
Absolutely.
share and let everybody know when more of the details and everything get put out there.
Right.
And then don't forget, remind them one more time about the meetings here coming up in each of the different districts.
Right. So May 16th at 6:30 will be for District 2.
Okay.
And that'll be at Military Heights at 6:30. May 17th will be District 3, and that will be at Roswell High School at 6:30.
Okay.
District 1 will be at Del Norte Elementary School on May 18th at 6:30.
Okay.
District 5 will be at Missouri Avenue on May 19th, and that one's going to be at 5:45 p.m. We're having 2 that night.
Okay.
And then District 4 will be at Mountain View Middle School again on May 19th, and that's going to be at 7 p.m.
Very good. And again, all these meetings are going to be the same content.
Sure.
I mean, you're more than welcome to go to all of them, but it's a little overkill. You just need to go to one of them. but definitely, if you want to learn more about the districting and all that, or have input questions, things, these meetings will provide all the information there that you
True,
need
and
for
just to reiterate again, we are not changing school district boundaries. This is for the board.
Gotcha.
This is board representation. I think the city went through this process not too long ago.
Yeah.
And so it's our turn to go through it.
Yeah, and it'd be like I said, it's not that earth-shattering, ground-changing or whatever. It's pretty close.
Well, and he said last night at the meeting that our population, from what he's seen so far, hasn't really adjusted to the point that you're looking at massive changes.
Yeah.
However, this is part of the process, and
Sure.
we don't want to leave. We don't want to just. You don't ever want to just pencil whip something through and say, well, that's how it's going to go.
Absolutely.
You make sure that you follow the process, get it done correctly, so that it's
anytime
in the
you cut
books.
a corner, you're opening yourself up to an issue. And
Yes, you are.
So you don't do that.
Right. And just another reminder too, with our summer's coming up and end of the year activities, and you're going to have schools that are going to have lots of people there different times of the day. You got awards assemblies, you got class parties, you've got different things. So as you're driving around our schools and even at odd hours, slow down, please.
Be careful.
The
Even
little
if
ones,
the lights aren't flashing. be
and the
careful.
little ones just totally don't look whenever they're running up with mom or dad.
Yep.
And so that's not how we want to start off our summer. And just enjoy it and kind of revel in it a little bit. It's been 2 years since we've been able to do this.
Yeah, this is nice kids are running around and doing things again. That's the way it's supposed to be. So, but yes, be careful out there. Use caution when you're out and about, even off school session, because there's still lots of stuff going on there. Just because the light's not flashing don't mean
That's true.
Because a lot of these schools are in neighborhoods and things, and so you shouldn't be whipping around them anyway. So.
Well, and if there's cars there, there's kids there.
Yeah.
In one way or another, whether that's the teacher and their kids or kids that are in the classrooms doing their thing. And it's funny. We close for the summer, but we don't really close.
Yeah, right.
And there's so many things that go on over the summer, and maybe when we come back in June, we can kind of hit some of the events and things that are going on.
Yeah, definitely.
And highlight that for parents that it's like, well, I've had them here for 5 days. It's time they do something.
Yeah.
So it would be more than happy to have a list of fun things for them to do.
I'm telling you, maybe we can get all the custodians in the district, and we can start a custodians club, and they all come, and the kids come, and the custodians take them and show them how to do custodial things around the school.
Why we don't put gum on the underneath side of our desk? Oh,
hey, by the way, good luck to the Lady Coyotes softball team. They won over Rio Rancho this past weekend, so now they're heading to the big show in Albuquerque here this week. They'll start. We're going to have the games for you on the radio. We can't do video but Art and Kelly are going to go. They're going to play at 11-3 regardless tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
If they win both, then they'll play at 11 on Thursday. If they lose both, they're done.
Yes, sir.
If they win any one of those games, they'll play at 11 o'clock on Thursday as well. So.
Got to love bracket play, man.
Yeah,
and no, when you get up there, and the baseball and softball were different. One's a play in, one's not. And it's half a dozen of one, 6 the other. But getting up there is big.
Yeah,
and that was a big win.
Yeah,
lots of shockwaves went out across the state, and I don't think they're going to be able to sneak up on anybody.
Well,
no.
They played a complete game. I was listening to Art call that game, Art and Kelly last week, and they were working. And if they play like that, I don't see anybody stopping them. But we'll see what happens.
Oh, and I love Art's calls because he gets so excited with what he's doing, and there's times you could just something's happening. It's just like just say it, Art. Just tell me what's going on.
Yeah, he does it. Both of them they do a great job, and but yeah, they're going to be up in Albuquerque calling, and we do have Artesia baseball and softball also going to be going on up there, and we'll be carrying some of that on our sister stations as well. And I think Art and Kelly might even help out because we got Joby and Gene, they're going to be going up, and they're going to be doing mostly Artesia stuff, but Art and Kelly will be there, and depending because sometimes some of this stuff's overlapping at the same time, so Art and Kelly may slip in to help call some Artesia stuff. And
probably the softball.
And vice versa, too.
Since they're, because same general area.
Yeah.
But that's a pretty
they're not near each other.
That's a pretty good drive whenever you're in traffic and 5 o'clock and you're trying to get from place to place.
Yeah, it's fun, but it's a nightmare.
No, I
at
know.
the same time.
But and almost done. That lots of Tanner I were talking about athletics last year this time versus athletics this year, and again, I think everybody's looking forward to June. Yeah, just taking a shot and just getting a breath.
Yeah, I think so too. So, good luck to the Coyotes there, and thank you as always. Appreciate
absolutely.
And if there's anything else you need or any time we need or whatever, let me know. We'd love to have you on to get the information out and whatever we can do to help. So.
Well, and enjoy the summer, everybody. I mean, and parents, thank you. Take some time.
Yeah, take your vacations.
Catch your breath, and we'll be ready to rock and roll back again in August, and hopefully it looks like it does now.
Let's do the fun parts of life. Going out there and going to the beaches and going to the picnics and cookouts and celebrating time with family and friends.
That's right.
All those things and going.
That's the important stuff.
Watermelon eating contests and back to throwing water balloons at each other and all that stuff. We appreciate it, Brian.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you next time. All right, it is 8:59. Let's do a quick break before we get you into Town Hall News. Don't go away.
There's a whole universe out there. Come explore at the International UFO Museum and Research Center, featuring engaging exhibits and in-depth first-hand accounts of the incident that put Roswell on the map. The research library features the most comprehensive collection of UFO research materials in the world, and you can get exclusive one-of-a-kind gifts and merch from the gift shop or online at roswellufomuseum.com. Don't forget about the UFO Festival, July 1st through 3rd, celebrating the 75th anniversary of the Roswell incident. The International UFO Museum and Research Center. It's otherworldly.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The first toilet being flushed in a motion picture was in the movie Psycho. Mike thought it was Gone with the Wind.
Breaking news.
Here's Mike Winters.
Townhall.com. I'm Jeremy House. After months of relentless gains, inflation slowed a bit in April. It's a tentative sign that price increases may be peaking while still imposing a financial strain on American households. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says President Biden will visit an Illinois farm today as food prices jump worldwide.
He's going to talk about the support we need to continue to give to farmers to help continue to produce more and more domestically to help address the food shortages that we're seeing in some parts of the world. We know that U.S. agricultural exports can help address that and can play an important role. Just as we are providing weapons, we are going to work on doing more we can to support farmers to provide more wheat and other food around the world.
The war in Ukraine has disrupted the supply of the country's wheat to global markets. Ukraine stopped the flow of Russian natural gas through one hub that feeds European homes and industry. Meanwhile, a pro-Kremlin official in a southern region seized by Russian troops said it would ask Moscow to annex it. AAA spokesman Andrew Gross says gas prices are expected to remain elevated as better weather combines with a rollback of pandemic restrictions and pent-up demand for travel.
We will see this trend continue probably throughout summer, mainly because of demand. The weather's getting warmer, the days are getting nicer, people are hitting the road. Just anecdotally, if you go out for a drive, you realize the roads are more crowded. Everybody's out.
The national average price of a gallon of gas was more than $4.32 as of yesterday. That price was up about 20 cents compared to 1 month ago and well over $1 higher than the same time a year ago. On Wall Street, the Dow's ahead 259 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I'm about to compare a pepper shaker to a cash-out refinance. Hang with me. You know when you're at a restaurant and they ask, would you like some fresh ground pepper? And then they crank that giant tube, but almost nothing comes out? For me, only a certain amount of time is socially acceptable to wait. I know that getting that pepper out might make my life better, but it just seems too impossible. And that's what we hear people say about the cash-out refinance. People realize that the value of their home has gone up like hot pepper the last few years, leaving all this extra money sitting inside their home. But is it too hard to get out? It's Ryan from United Faith Mortgage. If you're interested in cashing out the extra pepper in your home, we're good at doing all the work while you just sit back and relax. And often, your mortgage payment and years in the loan will stay the same. If you'd like to hear about your options,
we are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
An Alabama jailer is dead, and the fugitive she ran off with is back in custody. Now the question is, what happened?
Here's what the local sheriff says happened. A police officer spotted a vehicle in Evansville, Indiana, carrying jailer Vicky White and escaped inmate Casey White. U.S. Marshals gave chase, ramming the vehicle. As they approached it, they saw the female driver unconscious with a weapon in her hand. U.S. Marshals got them both out of the vehicle. NBC's Today Show reports that federal marshals said Casey White told officers at the scene, "Please help my wife. She just shot herself in the head, and I didn't do it." The two Whites were not related and not married as far as the sheriff knows. I'm Rita Foley.
Presumptive Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is facing early calls to ensure respect for human rights, the rule of law, and democracy. News and analysis at townhall.com. Parents are hunting for baby formula as supply disruptions have led to a nationwide shortage.
Infant formula is getting harder to find. Analytics firm Data Assembly says 40% of big box stores are out of stock, up from 31% in mid-April. It started with spot shortages during the pandemic. Then in February, Abbott, the company that makes Similac, recalled several major brands and shut down a large plant in Michigan after federal officials concluded 4 babies suffered bacterial infections after consuming formula from the facility. 2 of the infants died. For now, experts are urging parents to contact food banks or doctors' offices if they can't find formula and caution against watering down the formula or using online recipes. I'm Jennifer King.
Hyundai is recalling more than 215,000 midsize cars in the U.S., most for a second time, because fuel hoses can leak in the engine compartment and cause fires. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have mostly sunny conditions in the forecast early today.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah.
That is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos.
My brain's fried. Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Hour number 7.
We're in hour number 15 of our marathon, raising awareness for spina bifida.
Was that Larry King did like a 24-hour thing on the radio, and I don't remember why.
Was it Larry King?
I think Larry King. Well, it may have been others, but Larry King has done one. And I remember hearing like audio clips from some of it, and he was like an hour, I don't know, 18 or 22 or something, and he was just like randomly just, I mean, he was just mumbling anything at that point. Like, it was kind of like almost like his USA Today columns where it's like, I love fudgesicles. It was just off the wall comments like that at the end. But yeah,
I'm trying to find anything on.
It was Don and Mike, again, my radio file thing, used to play the clips of this, like, I don't know if he was doing like a 24-hour thing or what, I don't know. And I'm pretty sure it was in D.C. Because he kept talking about Duke Zebert's grill in D.C.
Television's first 24-hour news channel. No, that's the problem. Is it keeps bringing up CNN because 24-hour news.
Yeah,
but
and this was like early, maybe predating CNN. Is what I'm thinking.
I have to look deeper into it. But yeah, that's. You know what I miss is telethons. is specifically the Jerry Lewis telethon. Like when I was a kid, I loved watching those.
Did you?
It was weird.
See, I was the opposite. I would never tune in. I was mad because
I liked
it messed
the
up
acts, but specifically, like one of the things, it was like, it always kind of gave me goosebumps and made me kind of feel like weird, was watching Ed McMahon be like, now a word from the CEO of Sidco. It's like, this feels like stuff that we're not supposed to actually like see. And then it's like, you see like the heads of corporations, then you hear like the heartfelt stories and then wheel out the kid, at the end. I always kind of liked it. Watching the tally grow. And then the other thing was watching the tally grow and then seeing how much less the local tally is.
Yeah.
It's like 27 million, 13,000. It's like, well, we're trying.
So was it Albuquerque that had the locals out of here? Or?
Yeah. It was.
Because I grew up in D.C., so it was done out of the DC
I want to
PBS.
say it was the KRQ. No, what channel? I think it was KRQE.
Okay.
So the News 13.
Yeah, and it was the DC local. I don't remember what channel network. I kept saying PBS. It's not PBS. It was whatever ABC or whatever it was that would carry those. But yeah, and of course, I being DC, theirs was slightly more, like you could tell the local level filming and everything versus the national because it looks not good as quality and all that. Theirs was a little closer.
Yeah,
it's definitely not the same.
Not quite,
but DC's budget was bigger than I'm guessing Albuquerque's budget for doing that.
Yeah,
so
and
they,
then, like,
they probably had a nicer studio.
The local talent that they would wheel out is like flamenco dancers, stuff like that. But you'd be hard pressed to find I think once there was like
we got better celebrities in DC area. They can get some real celebrities.
I think once we had like a local comedian that turned out to eventually be somebody. I can't remember who it was, but
guys like Willard Scott and stuff that you would spend a lot of time in DC show up on there.
What's also funny to me is that was like the one time a year that Jerry Lewis like strapped a smile on and was like, let's do it for the kids. But from what I've gathered, he was a jerk.
Yeah.
Like the whole time, during the telethons.
Yeah, that's kind of the stories I hear too.
Yeah.
And as he got older, he got more crotchety and got a little more vile over the years.
Sort of lost the whole point of what are we doing this for? Muscular dystrophy? Still at it?
Well, and in all fairness,
what are we doing this year for? It's the MDA, sir. Still?
Yes, he had a huge movie career and he's iconic, but there's generations of people that know him more from those telethons and from any
he
Jerry
established
Lewis
his
movie,
legacy. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm like on that bubble where I remember Jerry Lewis movies, but a generation after me, really, that's not their wheelhouse.
I don't remember Jerry Lewis movies.
Yeah, so you're in that.
What I remember is Jerry Lewis impressions because that's all. Hey, lady.
Yeah, a lot of people did it.
That's all it was growing up was
There's certain people that just Jerry, that are
a lot of that like
Arnold
Animaniacs.
Schwarzenegger's one. Jerry Lewis was one. Rich Little, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
A lot of people did Rich Little doing Rich Little.
Doing Rich Little.
Which Rich Little was a voice impressionist for people that don't know who he is. I know there's younger people who have no idea who Rich Little is.
It was only a few months ago that I figured out that I can do a pretty spot-on Wolfman Jack if I really try.
There you go.
Great, all you got to do is this, but it's not that hard.
But then again, my problem there is it's kind of like the Harry Carey. My impersonation of Wolfman Jack
is someone else's impersonation of it.
It's the impersonation of Wolfman Jack, not Wolfman Jack. So it's more a little over the top, like the "Let me hear you."
Yeah, your Harry
Hi,
Carey
everybody.
is Will Ferrell's Harry Carey.
Yeah.
Most people's his name just left my head. Gosh darn it. The I cannot think of his friggin' name now.
Okay.
Guy from Pulp Fiction.
Samuel L. Jackson?
No.
John Travolta?
No. Oh my God.
Marsalis?
No. I wore it up for 4 years.
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken. Oh
Thank
my
you.
God, why couldn't I think of the name Christopher Walken? I was having a meltdown in my head.
Yeah.
But my Christopher Walken impression is actually Jay Moore's Christopher Walken
What's that
impression.
over the top like, hi?
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Whew, I am actually legitimately blushing because I could not think of it on the spot. Oh my God.
That's my job to not remember names.
That was meltdown mode for me. I'm like, come on, Sean, come on. Christopher Walken, yes. Of course. Anyways.
There you go. Which another one who gets over the top.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Let me give you the rundown for
Yes.
this hour of the show.
Save me, please.
Save me. We'll get you updated with the weather here in just a bit. Doesn't have the best of news there. Sorry about that. Then we're going to play our interview yesterday. We had Sarah East join us from Loveless Regional Hospital. She's primary care, basically the first line of defense for folks for if you need, medical services, things like that. She can be your primary care provider. But she joined us. She does all that, but we spent a lot of time talking about for folks with migraines, talking about Botox and different ways they can help folks with migraines. We also talk about this procedure for nerves and things for people dealing with like incontinence or overactive bladder, those kind of things. There's some procedures and things that she can do to help folks that are suffering from some of these issues. So we have a great conversation about that. So we're going to play that for you here in just a bit.
Botox. It's not just for deadening celebrities' faces.
Yes. Well, actually, I think that was something found out later.
Yeah, totally. It was a byproduct of what botulinum toxin was originally for.
And they're also talking about, like, they use it to give people neck movement and things like that. It's pretty amazing what they can do with Botox. It gets in there and allows, like, the occupational therapy folks to, like, if someone's neck is, like, just stowed up and you can't move it, they can put Botox in there, which breaks it up enough to allow the occupational therapist to get in there and start working it and then freeing up the neck muscles again. So it gets used for a lot of medical-related things, not just cosmetic. So,
nice.
Yeah. But we'll play our conversation with Sarah East here in just a few. So, before we do that, though, let's take a deep gander. Deep Gander.
Deep Gander would be a great band name.
Deep Gander.
Deep Gander.
It is good. I like it. I'll work on that.
Ponder on that one.
Deep Gander. At least a poem. It's 9:15. Deep Gander at your weather. Next.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have mostly sunny conditions in the forecast early today, but we do have a dry line over the area, and that could kick up some showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. A few of those storms could be severe. Large hail and damaging wind will be possible. This afternoon's high in the mid-90s. For tonight, partly cloudy and 60, and then plenty of sun coming up on Thursday and mid-90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 76 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 62%. Winds currently out of the south at 9 miles per hour. We are looking at some isolated thunderstorms possible after 4 o'clock today. They say some of these storms could produce gusty winds. Otherwise, mostly sunny for the day. Hot, high of 98. Winds will be breezy out of the southeast. 10 to 20 this morning. Later today, increasing 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. Little or no precipitation expected during your thunderstorm today. Tonight, they're saying there's a slight chance, a 20% chance of some thunderstorms. They're talking thunderstorms before 7, then a 20% chance of some isolated showers and thunderstorms between 7 and 10 tonight. Once again, some of these storms could produce some gusty winds. Looking at partly cloudy. Overnight low of 60. Winds will remain breezy out of the south, 20 to 25. Gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. They'll drop down 10 to 15 after midnight tonight. Mostly sunny for you Thursday. 97 for a high. Southwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sunny on Friday with a high of 93. Northwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Then looking at your weekend, warm. Sunny, 97 for a high Saturday. Sunny, high of 100 on Sunday. And looks like you're going to start next week above the century mark as well. 101 on Monday and Tuesday predicted for next week right now. All right, it is 9:17. We're going to take about a 2.5-minute commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview we had with Sarah East from Loveless Regional Hospital on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced state-of-the-art dentistry.
What's better than Rib Crib's slow smoked ribs? More of them, that's what. Rib Crib presents Rib Fest. We're talking endless, slow-smoked, righteous ribs, plus unlimited sides and bottomless refills, all for only $17.99 after 4 p.m. Choose from Rib Crib's original signature rub or go sweet and sticky. Plus, all your favorite sides like coleslaw, mac and cheese, sweet and smoky beans, and so much more. It's a rib-tastic celebration you can really sink your teeth into. Rib Fest, starting at 4 p.m. all month long at Rib Crib on North Main in Roswell. Smoking the good stuff since 1992.
For people suffering with joint pain, simple movement feels like just taking a step feels like, and lifting your arm can feel like. Don't let joint pain be in charge of your life. The skilled orthopedic experts at Loveless Medical Group SCORE are helping more people take back their lives with some of the most advanced surgeries in the region. We're doing more than restoring joints, we're restoring lives. Call Loveless Medical Group SCORE today at 575-625-3300 so life can feel like,
Sometimes when you hit the road hits back. That's why MTA Mechanics and Tire carries major brands like Bridgestone, Cooper, and Michelin. Not only do you get top brand tires, but you also get a nationwide warranty. So wherever you are, MTA Mechanics and Tire has you covered. Stop by or let MTA come to you with their MTA Mobile Tire Shop, covering Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia. They can come to your home, office, or even the airport, and alignment is included on all sets of 4 tires. MTA Mechanics and Tires, getting you back on the road.
To plant or not to plant? That is the question. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Our tomato plants and pepper plants are ready to go. If you plant them now, you might have homegrown tomatoes and peppers before anyone else, or the frost might kill them. As Clint Eastwood would say, do you feel lucky? You'll either be the smartest gardener in the county, or you'll get to replant them all over again. I say go for it. You'll get more practice and we'll get more business. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, and I apologize to William Shakespeare.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Elephants use these skin folds on their bodies to crush mosquitoes. Mike Winters uses his to hide M&Ms. Here's Mike Winters.
And joining us in studio this morning from Loveless Regional Hospital, Dr. Sarah East back with us. Good morning, doctor.
Good. I am so happy to be here this morning because I have a couple procedures that I was wanting to discuss with you so that we can promote it to the patients and let them know that we offer these services here in Roswell.
Yeah, absolutely. For folks that aren't familiar, Dr. East.
Just call me Sarah. I'm a PA.
Sarah is the, I guess you could say, the jack of all trades here with primary care. So if you're got something going on and you're like, I don't know which specialist I'm supposed to, you go see the primary care. And if they can't take care of it, then they send you to the specialist you need here.
Exactly.
But a couple things we do want to talk about. And Sarah, one is, when we talk about migraines, and I don't know, I know a lot of people suffer from them. I don't know, like what, when we talk about migraines real quick, what's the difference when we're just saying like a migraine versus I just got a headache? I mean, when does it officially go to migraine level status?
That's a great question. So a lot of people just suffer with regular headaches where they just have a little bit of a tension headache or a cluster headache. They're able to take just some over-the-counter anti-inflammatories and typically it goes away. Migraines are debilitating. So they cause you to have light sensitivity, sound sensitivity.
Okay.
You have to go into a dark room. It's really debilitating. Sometimes they can be nauseous.
Okay.
Severe migraines can even cause vomiting.
Okay.
So it's just the level of severity.
So if the pain's causing more than inconvenience, then it's probably more the migraine side. If you're getting nausea or didziness or sensitivity to light, then odds are that you're suffering from a migraine.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes. And so, patients, they'll say, yeah, I get migraines occasionally. If you get one a month, or one every couple months, then we have just oral medications that will help take care of that. You take it at the onset of the migraine.
Okay.
It usually aborts it, and then if you need a second one, you can take a second one a couple hours later.
Okay.
But what we're doing is for those that have chronic migraines, at least 8 a month.
Okay.
Then there's oral medications that you can take on a daily basis to help minimize that.
Okay.
By the time the patients come to see me, they've already tried every oral medication
They've exhausted
there is.
all the pills and everything that they could take. Okay.
And so what we offer, and I've been doing it for several years now, but I just wanted to bring more awareness to the community, is therapeutic Botox for migraines.
Gotcha.
And it works tremendously on completely eliminating the migraines for the entire time that the Botox lasts, which is usually 3 months.
Okay.
And so at the end of every third month, sometimes patients will notice in that last week that the migraines are returning.
And
so then they come in and we do another session of it.
Okay.
Yes.
So really, in essence, instead of taking, your daily pill or take as needed, you could, in essence, get some Botox 4 times a year, basically,
Yes.
and that'll cover you all the time.
Yeah, completely eliminates it. People's quality of life really improve it to where they can work. They're not missing so many days of work, etc.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but because most people you hear Botox, we think of cosmetic surgery and things. But if I'm right, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Botox initially was for migraines, right? And then they found out that, oh, by the way, it also helps with wrinkles.
Yes. And actually, Botox does even more than just the migraines and the cosmetic side. So what we also are offering in our clinic now, which is something new, is for cervical dysplasia and also spasticity. So meaning if somebody has severe neck spasms to where their head is almost tilted or turned in like a chronic position like this because of their spasms, we can actually do Botox down the neck muscles to help relax that to where they can move their neck freely. And also for post-stroke patients that have chronic tightness in their arm or their hands are in a fist position, we're able to do Botox down the arm to be able to loosen up that to where their physical therapist can start moving their muscles a little bit in post-stroke patients. So Botox works on a lot of different reasons from the therapeutic standpoint as well as the cosmetic side.
Okay. So I'm trying, and this is where I'm like, my medical science is a little bad here. But so in essence, does Botox do something where, so like for a headache, does it allow the blood to flow or do something so where it releases tension and pressure there? Or,
No.
I mean, how does that science work there and work different, for muscles or skin?
Yeah. So it works on the CGRP receptors, which are the receptors that trigger migraines.
Okay.
And so what it does is it actually blocks those receptors to basically help relax the muscles to where you're not getting the full-on migraine pain. And then from the cervical dystonia, same thing. It works on those to kind of, I don't want to use the word deaden the muscle, but for a lack of a better term, it deadens the muscle to where you're able to relax that muscle and it's not in tight spasm.
It's kind of like if you need a comparison, like when you're upset or tense and you kind of grit up and everything, and so that this allows that muscle to ungrit up and kind of loosen up so you can get in and work it or whatever you got to do.
Yeah. And then from the next side, I wouldn't do Botox if, like, say you just woke up and you slept wrong just that day. It's not for that. It's for those with chronic dystonia to where they're like at a, there's a term called torticollis that it's just where they're completely turned to a side.
Gotcha.
Those
so you're kind of
patients,
stuck in that position or it would cause a lot of pain to move out of that position or something like that.
And then, like I said, I have the reason why I also wanted to, go through is because of the stroke patients.
Yeah.
That's it. This Botox is going to help them tremendously because when they're in that chronic flex position of their arm and fist, it's painful. Like they experience pain with that because they're not able to ever move that arm because of the chronic spasm. Like just imagine being in a chronic spasm the whole time.
So in essence, it may allow some folks that weren't eligible or weren't responding to, say, rehab after stroke. They could start responding to some of the physical therapy and things that you got to do
Exactly.
to get back to health.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the migraines is a huge thing. I have several patients that have been getting it now for several years, and their lives have completely turned around. They're not taking ibuprofen every day. They're not taking their oral meds that they used to take for the migraines. And they just come in. The procedure itself is maybe 10 minutes long.
Oh, wow.
And in and out, and their migraines are completely gone away during that whole time.
I got to, because obviously the way that if they inject it, right? That's how they do the.
Yes.
For people that get
it's
squeamish.
It's a very, very tiny needle.
It's not that painful, and I'm sure it's far less painful than what you're experiencing with your migraine headache.
Exactly.
I think if you're going through that, you're like, yeah, I can handle a little bit of Botox.
It's a tiny little pinch is all it is. We go all the way around the head, down the neck, and into the upper shoulder area.
Okay.
And the worst spot that patients usually will make a comment on is just the forehead portion.
Okay.
But it's a tiny little sting, and I'm done within seconds.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of meat there, you know?
Exactly.
It's skin and bone mostly right there in the forehead, which is, by the way, the hardest part of your head, right there in your forehead. So if you're called hard-headed, odds are that you're talking about right there.
Yes. So it's exciting. There was another provider that I was doing this with. He's unfortunately relocating, and so that's why I just wanted to let patients know, hey, I'm still here.
Okay.
I've still been doing them now at Loveless, so I'm very excited about that.
Well, and good news, Matt informed me earlier here that the burritos are back. So if you want to make an appointment in the morning there, get there a few minutes early or stick around afterwards and have yourself a burrito and everything. Of course, you're at the remote but I'm trying.
You're trying. You just love the cafeteria. You love it so much.
I'm just trying to give people an excuse to eat a burrito.
Just tear the tortilla in half the carb. Half the carb.
That's true. That's right. You are going to see your doctor.
Yeah.
Let's also talk, obviously because of your practice, you kind of see everything and anything here, but also another part that you guys, your office treats and things is you wanted to talk a little bit about nerves and things like that, some of the procedures and things that you can offer for folks that are having nerve issues, right?
Yeah, so actually it's a very, very, very undertreated prevalent disease called overactive bladder.
Okay.
Men and women have it, and it's one of the symptoms is, hey, I have to go to the bathroom almost every hour during the day. I can't take long trips because I have to stop at every gas station along the way to go to the bathroom. If I sit through a movie, I miss half the movie because I have to run to the bathroom real quick. It's overactive bladder. It's also for urinary urgency. So if you have the urge to go to the bathroom, you have to physically run to the bathroom or else you're going to have a little bit of leakage.
It doesn't give you much lead up time. It's like, it's either I got to go or I'm good. Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And so what I've been doing is this procedure called an axonic sacral nerve stimulator.
Okay.
And what it is we're basically rerouting the nerve signals to the brain to calm the frequent urination down.
Gotcha.
And so to kind of give you an idea, again, there's oral pills for this that patients start off with. However, there's a lot of side effects to them. So it can cause severe dry mouth. Everything's dry. It can make dementia worse. There's a lot of long-term negative consequences to the oral pills.
So you got to really weigh the options there.
Exactly.
That would be a funny bit of irony. It's like, well, I don't have to pee as much, but I get dry mouth, so I drink more water. Now I'm peeing.
Yes, exactly. And so, and the oral pills, to use an analogy, is kind of like a light. So if you see the light bulb flickering, you go and just change the light bulb. Well, if that doesn't help, then you start looking at the wiring to that light. And that's where this sacral nerve stimulator comes in, is that we're basically rerouting the wiring.
It's kind of like, correct me if I'm wrong here, it's not that your bladder's full or whatever, it's what it is, but it's kind of like in a car where you got sensors telling you when you're low on gas or when the oil needs changing. Those sensors aren't working right.
Continuously going.
And in your body, that's your nerves and things, and they're giving false, dummy light indicators saying, you got to go to the bathroom. It's like you really don't. And
yes.
And so that's kind of where the issue is, and these pills help to, I guess, put them giving you correct information.
Yeah, so the oral meds just kind of, put a Band-Aid on it, essentially. Okay. Like I said, they're just changing the light bulb, but the problem is wiring. So the procedure that I do is this nerve stimulator, and the great thing about it is that in my office, it's just a simple office procedure. We'll do a 3-day trial to where I'll put in this little tiny stimulator into your backside, and you wear it for 3 days. And almost immediately, within the first 24 hours, you'll notice that you're only having to go to the bathroom half the amount of times that you were doing it before. So we always have you keep what they call a bladder diary, or it also is for bowel incontinence as well. So you'll keep your bladder diary, and say you go to the restroom 16 times a day, 5 times at nighttime. The goal within the first 24 hours or even the first 3 days of the trial is to do only 8 times a day, instead of the 16.
Okay.
And so that trial is very simple. We'll do it on a Thursday. You come back in on Monday and remove it. And that weekend, patients will come to me and be like, my life has changed with this procedure because they were able to go shopping at Walmart and not have to use the public restroom.
I have a life to live without having to stop every 10 minutes to go to the bathroom. Yeah.
So once they do the trial, and if they are successful and they love it, then we send them for a permanent placement with a urologist who does it in a hospital setting. And again, it's a very simple procedure. They're in and out within that same day, and they go home. And really, the follow-up is just, hey, how are you doing? And they're living life, and it can last 15 to 20 years without having to do any maintenance to it.
So overall, for the results, it's pretty uninvasive for the most part.
Non-invasive.
Yeah,
yes.
There you go, non-invasive.
Yeah.
That's why they pay her the big bucks.
Yeah. So I'm very excited about this overactive bladder. We were introduced to it about, I would say, 6 months ago to a year ago now. And but I haven't really done a whole lot of marketing on it. And so I really wanted to talk about that as well as the therapeutic Botox, just because these are things that we're not really treating. And
it sounds like, I imagine for folks that are suffering from this, they've probably tried multiple options, things, whether it's wearing the diapers or other things like that, and either finding it not convenient or embarrassing and things like that.
Because you smell of urine after a while, and they're having to change pads, and the pads are very expensive. Sometimes insurances doesn't cover them, and so that's where when we started doing this nerve stimulator, it just completely changes their life, because they may have had to buy 6 pads a day, whereas now maybe they'll use 1 or 2.
Sure.
And their quality, like they're able to go to their granddaughter's wedding, things of that sort.
Yeah, confidence. I mean, it's that one's probably as much a condition of the psyche as it is a physical condition, because at the end of the day, you're looking, it's a minor inconvenience in the big scope of life, but socially or it's not, and that's where I'm guessing people that go through that probably also start at some point suffering from other ancillary depression and various other social issues and things like that. So yeah, sometimes a treatment like this could be the difference between a life of happiness versus one of suffering.
Yes. And with once you get the permanent, there's 2 types of permanents that Axonics offers, and one is rechargeable and one's non-rechargeable. The rechargeable is still the mainstay one, and all it is for an hour, like every 2 weeks, because you'll have a little permanent stimulator in the backside, and you just place this little charger over it for about an hour every 2 weeks. And so it's very, very small, very convenient. And then they came out with the non-rechargeable kind, to where you don't even have to do that. But you have to realize, a battery life on the rechargeable can be up to 20 years, whereas the non-rechargeable is maybe about 15 years.
So you're going to have to replace it more often.
Yeah, it's still 15 years.
That's a long time,
10 to 15 years, yeah. So either way, there's pros and cons. But the company is amazing. They do the full workup as far as the bladder diary, talk to the patients. During that 3-day trial, they're checking in with the patients every day just to say, hey, any concerns? How are you doing? How many times did you urinate? Keep track of that. And so it works really, really well here.
Interesting. So if folks are just learning about this or dealing with some of these issues or have been for a while, and they're kind of wanting or hoping for an alternative here, schedule appointment with Sarah here and let's talk about it. Let's see if you're a great candidate for this. Maybe this is the perfect treatment for you. If not, then maybe there's some other options that Sarah can help you in the meantime. And I imagine, like you said, that procedure is, after trying a bunch of things first. That's not the first course for someone coming in the first time saying, I'm suffering from incontinence, some of these
Usually
things.
we'll just have to try at least one oral medication. So as long as you've tried one oral medication, that's pretty much all it takes for insurance to approve for you to get the trial at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've dealt enough with insurance that you can help, finagle and say, all right, this is probably the direction they're going to lean, so we're going to go with this style of treatment or something like that.
I call it the insurance game. We definitely know how to play it. In fact, I feel like I'm a master insurance gamer.
and that's important too, because when you want to be treated, there is that, your healthcare professional is going to, obviously he's the expert in the room, and that's who you want making those decisions. But sometimes insurance companies can finagle and fight with it. And so for you to be able to say, okay, well, they're not going to go this way, but I can do what I want this way just as effectively, or no, I need to fight your insurance and say, this is what we got to do.
Yes,
and
exactly.
And that's and it's nice to know that hey, you got that experience, and because I think in this day and age of being a healthcare professional, you almost have to have that ability as much as the ability to treat a patient.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. And so that's why, it's one of those things that I know the general requirements for each of these procedures, the Botox for migraines, the neck spasms, the arm spasms, and then now the overactive bladder, the urgency. So, once you kind of have a good game plan with the patient, you guys are all wanting to have the same endpoint of these procedures, then we know how to do the paperwork side of it.
Absolutely. Now, of course, if you're not suffering from any of these issues, but you have other issues as well, Sarah can handle that. She's a primary care provider. So what that means is whether you stub your toe or break your leg or feeling sick to your stomach, whatever it is, she can be the first line of defense for you and tell you, and either treat it or get you to the expert that can.
Yes, exactly.
Best way is if you want to talk about Botox here, or if you want to talk about this procedure for incontinence or anything, you can call Sarah's office, schedule an appointment direct. You don't have to go through the gauntlet or through another provider. Just call direct, 575-627-4200. Again, that's 575-627-4200. Or you can swing by her office. Like I said, she's not at the hospital. She's there at 1112 North Main Street, at the Loveless Healthcare Center there on North Main. So,
correct. Yep. Yeah. And I was going to say, if somebody has their own primary care and they just want to be evaluated for this procedure, all they need is just a referral from their primary care to me for the procedures.
Okay.
And I'd be more than happy to go ahead and take care of them with just either, if it's the migraines, the post-stroke patients, the overactive bladder, and they're able to keep their primary care as well.
Now I'm just curious, if I don't have headaches, but what if I want smoother skin? Can you Botox me there too? Or
That's my side business.
Okay.
Yeah. I do the cosmetic on the side.
Okay, I was curious about that because I was like, I'm just thinking, I don't have headaches, but I do look like an old man.
Yeah. I can make you real pretty too, Mike. Yeah, that'll be after hours though. That's the side business.
Gotcha. But if you're having any issues on anything here, it doesn't matter what. Sarah can help you with all of that. Please schedule your appointment. If you're looking for a regular, full-time provider for your family, Sarah can help with that.
That's
too.
where I'm at.
That's the jack of all trades. That's kind of the. I'm curious for you. Is that more fun to practice because I imagine if you're a person that likes to solve things, you like that kind of adventurous side a little bit. I think if you're a doctor or in medicine and healthcare, you got to go family practice or primary, because you literally don't know what you're going to, you got an idea, but you could see anything on a given day, whereas a specialist, odds are, okay, it might be different conditions, but it's all going to be heart related, or it's all going to be, for you, is that kind of part of the fun of being a provider?
Makes it fun. Yeah, this makes it fun because I like the procedure side.
Yeah.
So I do all joint injections. I do nerve blocks. I've incorporated the Botox into my practice, the overactive bladder stimulator into my practice. I like to see how much can I do in the office to where most patients in general always sent out to specialists.
Gotcha. You're like, hey, can I get it all done in my office right here?
Like how much can I do here to where, we're rural.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're in Dallas, everybody that does this procedure are all going straight to the urology for it.
Yeah.
Whereas primary cares there don't do it a whole lot, but they don't need to because
Sure.
you can get in with a urology. There are a dime a dozen in Dallas, whereas here we have one. And so to kind of help them out, I at least do the trial in the office, and then the permits can be placed with urology.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So really, it's just fun because you get to.
Yeah.
Because really, you're right. It's kind of, I have an image of like, and this is where I'm a little older, but like the old Looney Tunes cartoons, like the assembly line, dun, 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 they're stamping stuff. Like I feel like that in some cases can be healthcare in larger cities like Dallas and things like that, where dun, 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 it's just stamping. Where here it's kind of not like, I was going to say Doc Hollywood, another 90s movie reference, but it's not like that where he's jumping from house to house. But but at the same time, it's more like that, and you get to know your patients. You see them on a regular basis. I'm sure you have, you talk to them about their lives and everything. You see them, especially your patients that are in frequently. You're as involved in their lives as probably some of their family members.
Yes,
and so
exactly.
You get the chance to meet them and talk with them and learn about their families. And
and I've been here for 13 years, and so I've have patients that have literally been seeing me for 13 years. So it's a great thing.
You've got your loyal patients that have been with you for 13 years, and they've been with you that whole time. So you can do that too. Give again, you can reach to her office direct, 575-627-4200. Again, that's 575-627-4200. Stop her office, 1112 North Main, there at the Loveless Healthcare Center there on North Main. Yeah. And definitely, and even if you're not suffering from migraines or anything, you just, like I said, you need a healthcare provider, and maybe you're a family just starting out, getting together, and you're like, all right, we need to pick our doctor and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah. Sarah can help you with all of that stuff.
Yeah, it's fun, and I'm all about preventive medicine as well. So at least once a year, everybody should be having a checkup for their basic labs, make sure everything is going okay, and their annual checkups are very, very well advised.
Do you see a lot of patients that, like, obviously, like folks that have diabetes and things have their endocrinologist special and stuff, but generally speaking, you're usually the one that kind of monitors their, checking their labs every several months, making sure everything's going and adjusting meds as needed and things like that.
Blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, all together.
All the big ones, all the ones that most people come in on a day-to-day basis to see you for. So very good.
Yeah.
Sarah, is there anything we missed? Anything we wanted to share? Any information that we wanted to cover that we just got sidetracked on?
No, actually, it's just really letting patients know that, hey, if you're suffering from migraines, this is another option for you. You don't have to be taking, 200 ibuprofens every month and going from there. So I really wanted to say that you don't have to live with migraines.
And I think there's only, isn't there X amount of milligrams of ibuprofen a day you can take before you start doing damage to your body?
Well, and not only that, it can cause GI bleeds. It can cause kidney failure. So there's a lot of negative downturn to ibuprofen.
I'm not saying it, ibuprofen is a good thing at some times, but if you're relying on it and taking it on a daily basis constantly, you might be doing more harm to your body than help at that point. So please talk to Sarah here, and let's get you off that and get you into something that's actually going to help you.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.
Make Matt get you a burrito on the way back to the office.
I know. I'm gonna tell him to bring me some food from the cafeteria.
See, that would have been a state. See, I would have held out. I said, "You want me back? You got to put me in the hospital so I can be near the burritos all the time."
That's so funny.
Thank you.
All
I
right,
appreciate
thanks, Mike.
it. Have a good one.
It.
Don't work too hard. You want me back? You got to put me in the hospital so I can be near the burritos all the time.
That's so funny.
Thank you.
All
I
right,
appreciate
thanks, Mike.
it. Have a good one.
It.
Don't work too hard. All right, it is 7:44. Let's go ahead and
now
pause
for a Pecos Valley news update. Eddy County commissioners have approved a $728,000 expenditure for a new trash compactor at Sandpoint Landfill. Public Works Director Jason Burns said the new machine would replace the 6-year-old one that had more than 10,000 hours of use on it. Records show trash collection was higher in the first quarter of this year than it was during the same time period last year around both Carlsbad and Artesia. Some refreshing water recreation opportunities are opening for the summer season this month in Roswell. The outdoor pool at the Roswell Rec and Aquatic Center will offer a preview weekend. That will be May 21st and 22nd, and then it will open on a daily basis beginning May 27th. The outdoor pool is open from noon to 6, offering free swim days on June 13th, July 11th, and August 1st. Also, the city's 2 splash pads will plan to reopen daily beginning May 21st from 11 to 7. The Murphy Family Splash Pad is at Pocorn Park at 600 East 2nd Street, and the Carpenter Park Splash Pad is at 300 East Buena Vista. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
The truth and nothing but. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
The Federal Reserve is now warning that the transitory, we were told, Biden inflation crisis is now posing a serious threat to the entire United States economic system. Let me read to you from the Wall Street Journal. Elevated, persistent inflation coupled with a sharp rise in interest rates are among the greatest near-term risks to the U.S. economic system. A combination of higher inflation, rising interest rates could weaken the balance sheets of households and businesses, leading to an increase in delinquencies, bankruptcies, other forms of financial distress. Households could be affected by job losses. By the way, all of this is absolutely happening, and it's going to get worse. Here's my prediction.
Keeping you on the straight path. Later today, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
You know, every 3 seconds there is a new victim of identity theft. Now, these criminals could be spending your money, applying for loans in your name, or even selling your personal information on the dark web. Unfortunately, watching your accounts or monitoring your credit may not be enough, but protecting your identity is very simple with LifeLock. They are the leader in identity theft protection. And LifeLock.com, they monitor threats to your identity. They will issue you an alert anytime your information might be detected. And if you're a victim of identity theft, you'll get a dedicated restoration specialist in the U.S. that will work to fix it for you. No one company can prevent all identity theft or monitor every transaction of every business, but LifeLock by Norton, it's simple and easy to help protect you. Call 1-800-LifeLock or just go to LifeLock.com. Use the promo code Hannity, and you'll save up to 25% off. That's 1-800-LifeLock, LifeLock.com. That's 25% off with the promo code Hannity.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have mostly sunny conditions in the forecast early today, but we do have a dry line over the area, and that could kick up some showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. A few of those storms could be severe. Large hail and damaging wind will be possible. This afternoon's high in the mid-90s. For tonight, partly cloudy and 60, and then plenty of sun coming up on Thursday and mid-90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. The state golf championships wrapped up yesterday, and we had some golfers that do pretty well from our area up in Albuquerque, where all of the events were taking place. First of all, Chase Fields from Goddard High finished second in 4A girls, 10 strokes behind the leader. That was Riley Salome from Belen, but a good job for Chase, who shot a 71 on the second day. Isabel Bustillos, her teammate from Goddard, shot an 80. That was 10 strokes better than her first day. She finishes 5th overall in 4A girls. In 5A boys, Peyton Jones from Roswell finishes 4th overall. He shot a 74 just like he did the first day. And Jackson Hicks finishes 5th for NMMI in the 3A boys. Lily Barrios from Dexter, she finishes 11th overall. Dexter's team finished 2nd. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Jeremy House. The Labor Department says inflation slowed in April after 7 months of relentless gains. Consumer prices jumped 8.3% last month from 12 months earlier. Ukraine has stopped the flow of Russian natural gas through one of the hubs that feed Western European homes and industry. The House of Representatives has approved a resolution that will pave the way for letting congressional staff join a union and engage in collective bargaining. Few Republican offices are expected to participate in collective bargaining. Republican Representative Tom Cole says the effort is, quote, more symbolic than substantive. And President Biden wants to put a spotlight on the spike in food prices from Russia's invasion of Ukraine as he travels to an Illinois farm today to emphasize how U.S. agricultural exports can relieve the financial pressures. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Jeremy House.
I've heard it said, speaking my mind is easy, speaking it tactfully, not so much. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
Proverbs 15:15 says, a gentle answer deflects anger, but harsh words make tempers flare. Sometimes my greatest accomplishment is keeping my mouth shut. There are times when we argue that it would be easy to lash out. So I have a choice to make. I can either feed the fire or quench it with my words.
Julie and I have learned there's going to be arguments, but we've learned to fight and argue, not to be right, but to get the situation right.
So the next time you're in an argument, try saying something kind from a genuine heart to bring peace in your marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
When Bluebell takes milk chocolate ice cream and loads it with chocolate-coated peanut butter cups and peanut butter cookie dough pieces, you get chocolate peanut butter overload. Better by a country smile.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at Walgreens stores and Albertsons United Supermarkets.
A good night's sleep is so important. Did you know that proper sleep supports a healthy heart, decreases chances of weight gain, and boosts a positive mood? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental. It doesn't matter your age, sleeping issues can make any of us reach for that all-day cup of coffee. If you know you are not sleeping because of severe snoring or sleep apnea, come visit us. We can make you a small oral appliance that will help you sleep better and live better.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 622-4455.
Bob Reed Pest Control has been providing pest management services for over 50 years and continues to set high standards for their customers. Protect your home, family, and pets from destructive, poisonous, and disease-carrying pests. All of Bob Reed Pest Control's licensed technicians are continuously trained and knowledgeable in the latest pest management practices, offering effective treatment plans for any situation. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today, 575-623-5344, and find them fast in names and numbers.
If your tires are flat, need your car fixed, our reviews are better than mixed at Big O. At Big O Tires. We do the job fast and with a smile. Whatever the problem, we go the extra mile at Big O. At Big O Tires. Trusted service, no need to lie. Hop online, our reviews are high at Big O. At Big O Tires. Unbeatable service in all our stores. That's why we get such high scores at Big O. At Big O Tires.
Now through May 30th, buy 3, get 1 free on select sets of in-stock Cooper or Mesa brand tires with installation purchase. Only at Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation required, not valid with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger.
something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 9:58, closing in on 10 o'clock. If you missed any part of our show, I invite you to go back and check it out at your leisure. Just log on to ksvptv.com. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel, and you'll find our interviews there. You can also log on to our 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook wall and find the videos there. And look for Roswell's Talk FM on YouTube and our YouTube channel there. You can find all of our videos to watch at your leisure. We had Mark Green from Harvest Ministries and Amelia Benavides join us from the United States Postal Service. And this Saturday is their annual Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive. They're asking folks to leave a can of non-perishable food items out in front of out at their mailboxes on Saturday for collection by your postal worker to collect food. If you have a P.O. box or don't want to leave it out, you can also drop your food off at the downtown post office there on Pennsylvania. And you can they've got a box set up there to drop off food as well. But the big event is this Saturday. We also had the Chaves County Federated Republican Women join us and talk about their next meeting, which will be on the Wednesday the 18th, 11:30, doors open. It'll be at the Convention and Civic Center. They're going to be having CD1 candidates, magistrate judge candidates, and I believe also County Commission maybe as well, too. But there. And then, of course, we have Brian Luck, superintendent for the RESD in the 8 o'clock hour. And then we just replayed our interview with Sarah East from Loveless as well. That's going to do it for us. Have an amazing day. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of it. You're listening to 106.5